go.
I really wish I wasn't a Vulcan in Cypher's one-shot so I could name my guy Greg.
You still can. Half human.
All right. So... The next morning, Jacob actually wakes up in his own bed. He looks groggily at the IV in his arm and the bag of fluids dripping into it. Barb, Ian, and Jack find themselves in guest rooms they had stayed in the previous night. Ian and Jack, also injured, find themselves recovering in a similar way as Jacob. And finally Lance, who arrived by a different way, lifts his head off a pillow on the couch downstairs. His bandages had been cleaned, but he was not tethered to an IV. Eventually, each of you are visited by a strange man who calls himself the Doctor. He checks your vital signs, bandages, IVs, but refuses to answer any pertinent questions besides his name, Dr. Elixir. If requested, he removes your IVs and tells you Miranda and John are upstairs. So go ahead and feel free to roleplay what your reaction is to that, what you say, blah, blah,
blah. Barb would actually probably be upstairs with Miranda, considering the events of the last session.
Yep.
What did he say? I missed the end of your
he just basically he's just checking on your vitals, IV, listening to your chest and back with a stethoscope, checking your bandages, that sort of thing. He if you ask him any questions about who he is, he just says he's Dr. Elixir. But you can feel free to roleplay more with him if you want. But he's doing his rounds throughout the house.
Yeah, Jacob would just, and I guess it says it here, he would just ask where, his uncle and aunt are, and then if he's fixed, would ask his stuff to be removed. He doesn't really
he'll remove your IV. These are antibiotics, almost done anyway. And you're still injured for sure, but you're bandaged and and whatnot. He's like, they're upstairs in the kitchen. And he would walk off to the next person.
Lance just lifts his head up from the pillow and kind of looks around groggily, just noticing the light coming in, rubs his head, and just kind of wonders if this is real. How did he get here? Did he have a dream? He's just confused. He checks his bandages. He checks his wounds. He checks for all of his gear. Basically he wants to make sure he has all of his things there next to him.
Yeah, all your stuff is in like whatever bag you had with you, set next to the couch. Your physical state is the same as you remember it last.
Okay.
I suppose Ian would wake up and look confused for a bit and see the guy rooting around near him, the doctor. And obviously ask him his name and whatnot, and then look at the IV and, hey, doc, get this fucking IV out of me, man.
And he nods. He's like, as you wish. And he removes the IV and looks at the bag. And he's like, almost drained. I suggest you come and finish it off later. He's like, do you want me to leave that in your arm or take it out? And it's David would know what that's called more than I would, a pick or whatever.
The catheter.
Yeah, the catheter.
Get shit out, man. I'm not worried about your antibiotics.
He's like, all right. And he takes it out and, puts pressure down with gauze and then tapes it down with a Band-Aid. The Band-Aid is like, basically, it's like a kid's Band-Aid. It's like got dinosaur designs on it and stuff like that.
Throwback. Would I be able to tell, basically, it's like, there's not a label on the bag, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you can see. It's, you can even from a layman's turn, you can see that he was giving you a drip of, we'll say, amoxicillin, something like that. That's what it says on the bag. Yes. And then there's two. There's saline too, right? It's saline. And please excuse me for my lack of knowledge here, David. But yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been amoxicillin, but that's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
It's an antibiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess after asking him where they are and figuring that out, I guess I'd go up there.
Yeah, he sends you upstairs. So as you three, that being Lance, Ian, and Jacob, head upstairs, and you see Barb, Jack, and Miranda and John sitting around the large table. And they've got coffee and everything, and it seems that they don't think, well, they're not acting like anything's totally amiss when Miranda sees everybody comes up. And you guys come up at generally the same time, but stagger a little bit, and she waves, and she's like, oh, yes, come, I've made breakfast, omelets, and we have some croissants, and crepes, and juice, and milk, and water. Coffee, of course.
Wait, lady, wait. How did I get here? I was at a cave. We were at a cave. We were being shot at, and then everyone disappeared. I mean, Barb, Jacob, you guys were there sleeping, and then I turned around and you were gone. What happened to everyone?
That's for them to tell you. But you walked up to the front door in the middle of the snowstorm.
Oh.
And I let you in. It was after everyone else was asleep.
And Jacob chimes in and he says, oh, and I killed one of you.
She looks at Jacob and then back to Lance.
Lance is just rubbing his temples. He's confused. I need some coffee.
Of course. And she goes and makes you a cup of very fancy hoity-toity coffee with her humongous coffee maker.
The old school Keurig. Nice.
Basically.
Ian,
Barb's got two. I'm sorry.
Where did you guys go?
Well, you remember going in the cave?
Yeah, we were in a cave.
Yeah. I mean, we all had a real trippy fucking nightmare, and then woke up back here. And then Jacob shot something that looked like you in the fucking face.
What does that
and then
mean?
We went to sleep. What do you think it means, man? I'm giving you straight fucking knowledge here right now. I'm not trying to fluff anything up. That's exactly what happened.
He looks at, Jacob looks at the conversation happening, and he says, Lance, you didn't have a dream? Or nightmare, rather?
I don't know. Maybe I did. I think maybe I did. I'm just so confused. This is all so confusing.
Were you able to fucking stay awake? We all passed out.
No, I was awake. I was gonna take the first watch. I stayed awake. And then there were noises, and I walked out of the cave, and something was there. Then I turned around, and everyone was gone. The cave was even gone. But there was something there, and I can't put it all together. I don't know what happened. And then I ended up here.
Ian's just gonna rub his and drink his coffee. Like, fuck this. I don't even. Whatever, man.
Good, Chris.
Barb's got like two books in front of her. One she'll look at the one book, write it down, then go to the next book, and then she's like, oh, okay. You know, it's obviously in a different language. French, to be exact.
And Miranda,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, she
Go ahead.
she sits down. She says, "Well, we need to research what happened. I've heard from everyone, I think, as far as we all know, but I think you all could use some rest for a while you recover. Dr. Elixir can see to your wounds, and I think he can help you far better than any attention you would get at a normal hospital. Plus, it'll bring attention to you, as these are all injuries from, well, fighting, clearly. Bullets, axes, whatever." And Jack speaks up and he's like, "Yeah, and I was talking to Miranda and Barb about the book. Think we should hide it. At least till we know what to do with it. Can't have any more damn Jerrys finding it."
Jacob says, with all the weird shit that's been going on around here, the moment you hide that bag, it is going to disappear, and some more weird shit is going to happen.
I'll hold the book.
I don't think that's a good idea, and I think we need to hide it. I don't think anybody, even one of us, should have it. Barb had a suggestion. What was it, Barb?
Barb just kind of looks up from her books and she's like, "I think we should hide it in the least likely place it's going to be found, and I think that the best place to hide that would actually be in the library, not just in the normal section, but downstairs where all the extra books are stored from overstock. They rotate them through, but if you put it in far back enough, I don't think it's going to have much of an issue."
Fucking kidding me? You really think that people aren't
No.
gonna find that?
I think that I've been to many more libraries than you have, obviously, and I know that there's a lot of books that just stay in boxes and are never touched. Most of the books downstairs are never touched.
Until someone wants to go looking for them. This ain't no regular fucking book.
I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as a book. That book was something you guys were dealing with before I showed up. But if it's that important, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest just kind of tossing it in a public place.
Well, Jack.
Straight.
Yeah, Jack
Jacob?
speaks up. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jacob.
Jacob actually says, no, I think she's right. Like, you only ever go to a library when you're looking for something specific, right?
Well,
And
sometimes
she's
something
like,
looks
"Look."
interesting, and someone picks something up just because it looks interesting, and they take it.
She's like, "Look," and then she takes the two books she has plus the actual book and puts it in the middle and lines them up so you just see the spine. She's like, "They look like just books. There's nothing here to indicate that this is anything fancy. It's not made of gold. It's not bound together in human skin. It's just a book. You can't tell the difference." If we take it to the police station, obviously they already know that we're involved to some degree, so they're going to look there. By now, they know our names. They're going to start looking in the places that we live. The one place they're not going to look is the one place that everybody goes to. She said, "You guys can put it where you want. It was my idea to put it in the library, but if you've got a better place, some sort of Fort Knox, be my guest."
Jack says,
library
"Well, I
is in Fort
can't
Knox.
put it in the armory or in a safe in the office, but yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys what you go and do."
My
That's a
thing is
better
that,
idea.
look, these motherfuckers have been working with military precision since we started bumping into them, alright? They've had good gear. They've known where people were going to be going. They set ambushes. They tried to kill us in this house. They tried to kill us out in the snow. These guys are coordinated. They've probably got people who can track us that we don't know about, alright? So the worst thing we can do is walk around with this book and put it in a fucking library, in my opinion. I'm just saying. These guys know what the fuck they're doing.
If the sheriff has a place to lock it up, let's let the sheriff do that.
Jacob says, yeah, but they know, like she said, they know who we are. If you were a highly trained mercenary and somebody had an item you wanted, you wouldn't go to a library for it. And Jacob at this point is totally on Barbara's side. He says, there's places in that library nobody's been for years.
Jack says, "Well, I do know the librarian's there, and I could probably get in there and put it where we wanted to put it, so wouldn't have to leave it up to somebody else, at the very least."
Wait, the last thing we should be doing is bringing other people in on this.
That's what I mean, Lance. I wouldn't. I'd just go in and put it where I wanted.
Oh.
Whatever,
It's up to you.
Throw away our biggest piece of fucking solving this puzzle, that's fine with me. However you want to handle it.
Jack says, "Well, I could put it down. I could wrap it up in some plastic bags and drill a hole into the pond and put it in there. Suppose
that's better than the library."
Barb just shakes her head. She's like, having it anywhere near any of us, I think, is a big mistake. But you guys do what you want. I've said my piece. She goes back to translating the book she's in.
Jack says, "I'm up for whatever you guys think."
I still think I should hold it, man. I mean, I'm more familiar with that thing than anybody else here. And if someone's going to come try to take it from me, you guys have seen me. They're not going to take it from me easy, if at all. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you can't punch somebody who shoots you with a rifle, boy.
I've done it a couple times already.
You just
I
shake
just
his
shoot
head.
them instead.
Don't think that's wise.
Sheriff, do you have a safe at the police station?
Of course.
Well, let's just put it in there.
That is, they know where they know the sheriff's involved. That doesn't make sense. A safe can be broke, taken. I mean, I guess I assume it's a small safe.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to fight through all the county sheriff's department if they came in guns blazing trying to get that safe, but
I think a safe in the sheriff's department is the safest place.
Shit, Sheriff, some of your own officers might be with these fucking goons.
If the sheriff...
Go, Jacob.
I don't know, man.
Barb just keeps shaking her head, like thinking that it's a bad idea, but at this point, nobody's going to... You know, there's only one person on her side, and everybody else thinks that storing it in a police station or somewhere else is safe.
Fuck it, man. You guys want to put it in the library, do whatever you want. I think it's a bad idea, but I'm
Hold
not
on,
holding
guys,
the
I'll bring it
fucking
back.
thing right now. No problem. You guys want to stuff it into a shelf so every Tom, Dick, and Harry can take a look at it? Hey, be my guest.
Why don't you let me put it in the pond? I don't think anybody will go looking for it there. It's inconspicuous. Yeah, it's at my house, but who's going to look in the pond? I'll
You're
keep
probably
it
being
tethered
watched.
to a rope or something.
It wouldn't surprise me if we were all being watched to some degree. I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, I go out in my shed. Nobody can see in there. I'll go out in the ice shed, dig a hole, put it down there.
If we're all being watched, they're going to see us put it in the library too then.
It's whatever you guys want to do. Let's just make sure we come up with something soon. We're thinking about this shit too much. Just need to do something.
Barb's ignoring him by this point.
I say we
Jackson.
give it to the sheriff.
Like, what do you think, Jacob?
He says, if it's really that important, why would we put it somewhere where only one of us can get it when they're with us? The library, any of us can get there. Sheriff can just tell us where it is. It seems simple enough.
Well, I mean, the same thing can be said about the shed. I'll have a rope pulled up through the ice there, and then you can just chip it out if you need. It'd be right. You would know where it is right now. It'd be in the bottom
guess
of
if
bottom of
that's
my shed.
I mean, if that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. It would just freeze over
He
the rope.
still just says it makes more sense to put it somewhere that nobody knows we're involved with, but the ice is not a bad idea.
Well, all right then. I'll I'll take it on in. I need to go in. I've been gone too long anyway. Barb, I'll tell him you're out sick, or you can come in with me. I don't know.
Barbara kind of looks up from her book. She's like, "I'm not leaving. I've got to take care of this."
All right, I'll see what. I'll make sure you still get paid and everything, but don't be too long. People will know you're missing. And he goes and scoops up the book and kind of puts it inside his jacket. He's like, "I'm gonna go into town, I guess." And Miranda says, "Yes, you should all actually go about your normal business for a while, I think. And heal up. And I'll look for answers as I can."
Jacob just looks at her dumbfounded and says, "You expect me to go to work now?"
Well, you don't have a job right now. I mean, you can stay here. I mostly meant everyone else.
Go about our normal business. There's nothing normal about our business anymore.
I know that. I need to find out what's happening. And then I'll let you know.
But
Ian will finish up whatever he's eating. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll go back.
I'll keep
Probably
in
got
contact
some-
with everyone.
Probably got some money kicking around to spend on fucking whiskey anyway. I'll make for outside. I don't even know if I have a fucking ride to get back into town, but
Yeah, Jack will take you.
together.
And I'll have the doctor come to you, or you can come out here, whatever you prefer.
Is it anything I can't take care of myself?
I think it would be better if you let Dr. Elixir take care of it. And I know you're a medic, but this is special. He is gifted.
What do you mean, gifted?
I mean, he is gifted. He can heal things that you and I cannot. Quicker. Better.
Cut the bullshit, Miranda. What's special about this fucker, and why can't I just take care of my own stuff?
yeah, this Miranda lady, you are creepy. You're a creepy lady. You talk in riddles and you don't make sense. You know,
That far.
I'm gonna take your advice. I'm headed back to my hotel or my motel room, whatever it is.
She just rolls her eyes and she's like, "Okay, I won't send the doctor to you then, Lance. No problem." And she says, "He has gifts. I can't explain it like I can't explain a lot of this. I just know that John has been injured before and he has healed him fairly quickly, a lot quicker than he would normally be. And if you went to a hospital, well, I believe that would bring up questions you don't want to answer, so I would suggest letting Dr. Elixir take care of your ailments."
You can send the fucker out, but I'm gonna be keeping an eye on him. Let him know that, too. I don't trust him.
That's fine. And Jack's like, "Well, I'm heading into town anyway. Whoever's coming with me, come with me. Lance, your Jeep's outside still, I think."
Yep. So I get in my Jeep and I start headed back to my hotel room.
Okay. So eventually everybody goes off and does their own thing for a while. And about a month passes, honestly.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We did our thing for quite a while.
Yeah, so you're just living life, right? Doing normal kind of shit. And eventually Miranda gets you on the phone, and in that month you do notice that you heal very quickly. And by about a month goes by, you're still sore, but you know, as far as being shot, stabbed, hacked with an axe, all that is no problem anymore. Jack basically informs everyone that he has hid the book, and he's basically holding things down at the sheriff's office while Barb kind of does her thing. She works as well, and Ian works, and Jacob pretty much just chills at the house, I'm assuming, or whatever. And yeah, and so a month passes. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Barb would probably be coming down on the weekends to study with Miranda as she kind of learns as much as she can.
Yeah, that's fine. So essentially, just up here. All right. So basically, about a month, sometime in mid-February, we'll call it Valentine's Day, actually. So it's Valentine's Day, and Miranda gives each of you a call and asks you to come on out to the house. I found some information. Finally made some headway, but going to need your help. It's finally time to convene the lodge, she says.
Is she talking to anyone specifically? Like on the phone,
she's talking to each of you. She essentially says that to each of you on the phone separately. You can roleplay your response to her if you wish.
Well, listen, lady, you still are talking in riddles. I've been staying in this little hellhole of a town for the last month only because I'm putting a story together. There's something going on here, and I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a big story when I finally break it. I don't know what you're calling me out of the blue for. I had nothing to do with this from the start.
Lance, do you remember our last conversation we had when you walked to the house? Do you remember that? That was not a dream. I suggest you come more than anyone.
You know what? I'm gonna show up to your little meeting only because I think there's a story here.
Yes, there is a story. You would be right about that. I don't think it's something you would want to publish necessarily in your newspaper or whoever you work for. But yeah, you should come out.
So Lance heads out to the house again.
Okay.
And I would answer the phone all brusque and probably a little bit hungry, like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's Miranda. It's time to start working now.
Oh, fuck. Alright. When do I gotta get there?
Come out for lunch today. It's like a Sunday. Or, yeah, whatever.
I might be a little bit late. I gotta tie up some, loose ends.
That's fine. Just come out.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah.
Hang up the phone. Tell, what's your name?
Sydney.
To get out. Yeah.
Here's your napkin. So,
Yeah.
to Jacob, so she basically tells the same thing to Jacob that morning. She knocks on his door of his room, and she's like, Jacob, it's your aunt. I have news, finally.
Yeah, he's cleaning his rifle. What's that?
Well, finally, one of our friends in Denver has alerted me to some possible connections to everything that's been happening, and I wanted you to first to know that your uncle has let me know about a place that I think you'll want to see. It's in town, and it might be a bit macabre, but I think you'll want to see it. It will be good for all of you to convene and not to come here. And she says, we'll wait for the others, and I'll say more, but I think things are moving ahead. I'm deeply regretful this has ensnared you.
Yeah, he, I guess he shrugs and says, it's fine. I mean, it's not like it's your fault.
Yeah, well, I do blame myself a bit. If we hadn't followed this life, then it would have never come to you.
Kind of tilts his head. So, are you saying you guys brought this stuff here?
Well, I mean that if we were not hunters, then whatever was happening out there would not have involved us, just living simple lives. Of course, we didn't do anything on purpose, but...
He says, I don't know. Jerry seemed pretty normal until whatever happened to him happened to him. Seems like it can happen to anybody. I just might be actually prepared for it.
I hope so. And she kind of like frowns and kind of walks away.
Yeah, he just goes to the balcony, starts like firing rounds at trees, trying to hit targets. He's going on a mission. We're going on a mission.
Yeah. So everybody gets there, maybe a little bit late, but she rounds up everyone and brings them to the table. And she says, "Yes, I had two things to discuss with all of you. The first is John has told me about an old hideout that they used to maintain in town, and that he thinks you guys should use it. It is a lot less conspicuous than this place, but a bit macabre, as I was telling Jacob earlier." And she kind of looks and she's like, "It's actually in the Linwood Cemetery in town. The Albridge Mausoleum, in fact, has a secret entrance to, well, as he's told me, a little underground complex."
Wait. Did you just say you want us all to go live in a mausoleum?
No,
Lady,
not at all.
I knew you were creepy, but come on.
It's a fucking hideout, man. It's not a goddamn living space.
Yes, it would be to meet about this instead of coming up here. It might not be wise for us to have direct contact in some certain situations, and having some place that you could stay hidden might be beneficial.
Well, why do we need to stay hidden? What's going on?
And she just
Are
looks
you
at you.
shitting me?
Yeah. She looks at you and she's like,
It's been a month and nothing has happened.
Yes,
Yeah, but we
nothing's
still all
happened.
feel the same, right? Like,
Yeah,
like Jacob
yeah.
still has his like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've been having nightmares still, and
Yeah, exactly.
not as bad as before, but yeah.
Whatever's going on is still going on, man. Just because nothing's kicked off in a month doesn't mean they're not moving in the shadows. Same shit we're doing, just different side of it. You're in on it now, Lance. You might as well get used to the idea.
Seems like only time something weird happens is when this Miranda lady comes around.
And she kind of laughs, and she's like, "Lance, I don't believe that's true. I believe that you were... I found the cave. Was I there? No, I wasn't there at all. Was stuck on the road. Whatever is happening to the five of you, and I can't explain it, but... or something is strange. Yes, I know things about certain other things that is important and that you don't understand quite yet. But whatever's happening to you, I do not fully comprehend. And I have a way for you guys to, well, try to figure out what's going on. And I suggest that you take this opportunity to do both, and to protect yourself if needed. You're worried about these people coming and assaulting you or killing you? Well, this place would be safer than here, obviously.
I wasn't worried about being assaulted or killed until you just said that.
She looks at Ian and Jacob and Barb and kind of like...
All right, fine. You know what? You guys want to walk into a crypt? I'll go in there with you.
Barb's like, I've been living literally in an old broom closet that's got a cot in it in the police station. A mausoleum doesn't sound that weird to me.
We'll get you a bedroll and some coolers. You can fucking live down there, Barb. Might be an improvement.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Jacob just says, I always wanted a treehouse, and mausoleum's almost as cool.
She's
What
like,
is
well,
wrong with you people?
He's like, I wouldn't say to live down there. I mean, but in certain situations, you might want to meet down there. I can't say what's going to happen. I just know that we are not safe, and you are not safe. And having somewhere you can hide out is beneficial.
All right, well, let's go check this hideout out.
He's like, yes, well, go to the mausoleum. It's the Albridge Mausoleum. Jacob, I think you've been there before, I'm sure. And she says, there's the nameplate for Aldridge. John has told me just push on the G very hard and it will spring a door in the back of the mausoleum. But I would go tonight when there's no visitors. There will be a security guard. You'll have to talk by him, but
well, let's head out and get this done.
I would look at the time and say, you guys want to all convene there, like, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock?
Works for me.
Yeah, that's fine. I wanted to get some dinner anyhow.
Yeah, whatever. Seems fine to me.
Alright. So at 9:30, you head to the Linwood Cemetery, the famous resting place of Doc Holliday.
Oh, baby.
I can just feel the tuberculosis.
It's not funny, he died.
Damn!
The consumption.
Wow.
Too soon, man.
I know 100 and some odd years can be too soon.
Okay. So, Linwood Cemetery is the final resting place of Doc Holliday and a tourist destination. Besides that, of course, was the Albridge Mausoleum, which held the secret you were seeking. It had been a month of resting, but now it was time to get started. As you approached the gates of the cemetery, a lone security guard peeked out and looked at you tiredly.
It could be me.
And basically, he looks out of like a little booth, and there's like iron bar gates kind of thing, right? With a padlock on it, and a chain, and he's like, "Oh God!" And he kind of like stands up and he's like, "Yeah, we're closed. Sorry, we'll be open again at 8:30 tomorrow morning."
Sir, if I could, we're just visitors from out of town, and
Yeah, tourist, I know.
Yep, exactly. And we thought it would kind of be a neat thing to see the cemetery at night, you know, kind of spooky and all of that. If you wouldn't mind letting us come by, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, we open at 8:30 tomorrow morning and close at 7. It should be dark tomorrow at 7. And he's, pulls his coat kind of back, tighter around him as it's kind of cold out, being February. And
alright, man, fuck it, let's just get this over with. And I'm grabbing for my wallet and going through it. How much?
And he kind of looks at you. So why don't you roll, so I built, just so you know, any skill macro, and basically it should be able to roll any skill attribute combination you have. So basically, let's roll. Do you think anything would be? It's to me this seems like manipulation with. Oh, I don't know. Subterfuge.
Oops.
This is gonna go horrible, but okay.
Or
Let's do it.
socialize. You could do socialize too, or persuasion.
I guess I'll go socialize. I've actually got a dot in that. So let's see. That's 1 for that, and I've only got...
Yeah, and so you guys know all your willpower is returned to full as well as your health.
Ooh. Okay. So, 1 manipulation, 1 in socialize.
Mm-hmm. So you should be able to just click that macro and it'll auto-calculate everything.
Any skill? And
Any
then...
skill. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pick manipulations, pick socializing, should roll it for you. And if you wanted to use willpower, you could add that in there as a bonus. But
I think I'm gonna try this and let somebody else try to do something in case I fuck this.
Yeah,
I'll
I was
try
trying to do
next.
something.
Oh.
Hey!
So he's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, this is so weird. What do you want to go? What do you want to do? Fine. Do you have $100 in there? I'll walk with you so you're not doing anything stupid.
I'll give you 200 if you fucking leave us alone.
And he's like, 200? You aren't going to go in here and rob any graves, are you?
Man, if I wanted to come in here and take some shit, I would do it real quiet. I wouldn't even approach your ass. I was in the military, man. 200 bucks.
Jacob whispers to Ian, and he's like, what happens when we have to come here later also?
I shrug. We'll deal with that later. 200 bucks or what, man? Take it or leave it.
He's like, fine. It's fucking cold out here anyway. And he walks over and he's like, lifts his hand up, give him the money.
I hand it to him.
And he takes it. He's like, don't fuck with Doc Holliday's grave. I'm serious. And he takes it and he's like, if you do, he's like, how about you give me your ID so I just make sure you're going to behave.
Oh, goodness.
You get 1 ID. You get mine.
He's like, all right. And he just looks at it and reads your name. And he's like, all right, I'll write this down, Ian Grove. And he hands it back. He's like, just don't mess with anything in here. I'm serious.
Scout's honor, motherfucker. Don't even worry about it.
All right, fine. He just like goes and takes a key and cracks the lock and pulls the chain away and pushes the gate open. And the mausoleum is up and to your left. That away? I've pinged.
I start just heading over that direction.
Well, the only person who knows where it is. There's a bunch of mausoleums in here. The only person that knows the way is Jacob. Been here
Alright,
before.
Jacob, get up here.
His mom is actually buried there.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say we were going to my mom's grave, but no biggie. Yeah, he goes to the front. I'm not at the computer at the moment. I'll move my token in a second.
Okay.
But he would lead the way straight to it.
Okay. So you guys head over to the mausoleum, and you see the it's well maintained. There is a Jacob knows it right above. It's not huge. You have enough where a 6 foot tall person can walk in without pretty much bending over. And on the top it says Albridge. And you assume there probably isn't any other Albridge, name unless it's just the specific person in the mausoleum. So what do you guys do?
Well, if there is more than one Albridge, we'll just go around pressing G's on this.
As he's doing that, Jacob would go to the one that's it for sure and press it.
Yeah, he goes. You reach over your head and kind of push it in. At first, it's like sticking, and then it just kind of goes in. You hear a click, and then that's all you really hear. And so the outside doors are still like closed, right? So you can walk in.
Right.
So you push the doors open, and you don't see much change except you see in the back where there used to be basically a wall. You see that there's a curtain, and the curtain's kind of halfway drawn. And you never really realized it before. You just thought it was decoration. You see like a dark, just a dark pit kind of go down. You're not sure from here. It looks like it could be stairs.
All right, he's leading the way, I guess.
Okay. So you're gonna get your flashlight on, I assume.
Oh yeah, if when he gets there, I see
yeah.
the candles. So when he gets to the where it's dark, he definitely pulls out his flashlight.
And I pull out my gun because I take no chances.
All right,
Wait,
so
wait. I see him pull out his gun. I was like, wait, this was supposed to be a safe meeting place. What?
Is anywhere fucking safe?
What do we need our weapons drawn for right now?
As he, Jacob just kind of shakes his head, walks forward.
yeah, whatever. So you walk down into this room, and you basically it's cold as hell, and you kind of see with your flashlight nothing at this point. You can walk through that door, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I cannot.
No, okay, hold on. If you can't.
I'm no,
Yeah,
can't.
Yeah, hold on one second. So that's the door you basically opened with the locks. Yeah. Okay, you should be able to now. So you walk in, and it's kind of as you see it, right? It's looks like it's pretty much dusty, and you see some footprints of probably recent activity. Maybe John's been in here. So there's two braziers right next to you. You can see them that have basically firewood in them, and look like they could be burnt to give you extra light.
This or where Ian is?
Yeah, where Ian and Barb are basically.
Okay.
Some, and there's you see there's a little small thing of gasoline and some matches right there, so there already somebody has set up for you.
And Barb will go about lighting them.
Okay.
Well, they're already lit, right?
Yeah,
Not
are they giving light off? I don't know if they
No.
are. So you light them up.
That's good. It's one.
Yeah, it starts lighting up the hallway.
Wow.
And Jacob hits this one down here.
Yeah, it's pretty not extremely interesting. It's just like a long hallway. And the areas to your right, or to your left actually, you see that there's stairs going someplace else, but there's rubble that's collapsed, preventing you from essentially going anywhere else. So now, as far as mechanically wise, you all have a safe house. Your safe house, let me share this with you. I have it here. Might have
So with a statue.
Oh, I didn't realize that's a sword on the floor. That's
and
pretty
it
cool.
does
That's
look
pretty
like
cool.
that for sure. So this is your stats for the safe house. So you can put your cash, bring all your stuff that you had. That's what I put in the cash, right? Size 1, most things are blocked off and impassable. Secrecy 3, nobody really knows that you've been here yet. It seems pretty secret, and you have no traps yet set in the safe house. So now you have a safe house, which is a shared merit, and you get this for free. Any advancements to the safe house you will have to pay. with either shared experience points or personal experience points, however you want to do it. And you can come here. Basically, you'll have to figure out a way to do this each time. You come at night, dealing with whoever's on guard. It's you don't know anything about Tyler at the time, the security guard, but for now you have access this way. And you probably could come in the day too, as long as nobody else is in the mausoleum and didn't see you, right? But you would be noticeably going into this area often if you did that. Yeah, and there is definitely a sword decorated on the ground.
So
feel
this
free to give me the
cache,
role play. Yeah.
where is this cache?
So you'll have to bring it down at some point. This is the stuff that you have picked up from.
Who has the Remington?
I believe you have it. It was whoever wants it, right? Really, this is just the stuff that wasn't specifically assigned, but you got off of other people.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I thought they were the same, but they're not quite the same. There's more range with the other one.
Yeah. So this is what's in there, or what you can bring in there. This is your cache. In the future, I'm sure you'll come down here and put it down here, right?
Cool.
So go ahead and feel free to roleplay your reaction to this.
This place is really fucking creepy. What are we doing here?
Setting up a hideout, man. Like we talked about before we left Miranda's fucking house.
That lady is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Now she has us walking through a cemetery and hanging out in a mausoleum.
Jacob says, this seems like a pretty safe place. I mean, one way in, one way out.
Yeah, that can also be a trap.
It's not bad other than that jackass outside. I'm not gonna pay him $200 fucking every time we try to get in here. So we can either split the bill or we can figure out how to get this motherfucker to where he lets us in.
Jacob says, my mom's buried here. I'm pretty sure he'd let us by for that reason. I'm not sure why he'd let all of us by, but maybe he's a nice guy.
Didn't fucking seem like it.
Hey, we never tried anything else. You just pulled your wallet out.
Because I want to get this shit done instead of sitting there bickering with that fucker trying to get him to open the gate. If that didn't work, I was just gonna knock him over the fucking head.
Well, we'd be in a pretty bad predicament now, wouldn't we?
So well for you.
Maybe. I don't know. Barb could always make something up and arrest the guy.
No, I'm not gonna falsify charges on somebody. That's against the law. Now, there's certain things I'm gonna have to overlook considering the situation we're in, but I'm not gonna start smacking around some poor guard because he's just trying to keep people out and do his job and get his paycheck.
I think this is above his pay grade, but whatever. Whatever, Law and Order.
What's on the other side of these rocks?
Yeah, you can't tell. It's dark and it's impassable. And to open up any other part of the underground complex, you'll have to spend credit points to do so. But right now, it's like blocked off.
Is this an actual statue over here?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's a statue. It looks like a dude. It's like an old. Like some of it's crumpled and some of it's like, broken. But it looks like somebody with a sword, maybe.
Jacob, this look like anybody familiar to you in your family's history? Related to William Wallace?
I mean, it's so old that most of the face is deteriorated. You would never be able to tell, right?
Yeah, he looks at it and just says, nah, it just looks like a dude. He might have had something in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty it's pretty bad repair, but you're fairly sure it's some sort of statue of like some medieval warrior type weird thing, right?
Can other than obviously just the scenario or the scene that we see here, the braziers, the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do probably like an investigation check or something, just taking a closer look at the area?
What are you trying to see? Or you have anything specific in mind?
Just looking for anything that's out of the ordinary that stands out, from everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you see is what you get. There's definitely somebody who's been in here recently. That's clear. Like prepping the area, and that kind of jives with what Miranda said, that John had done that. Yeah, so otherwise it's in pretty bad repair. It's definitely not been used for, I don't know, years and years, decades, right? And there's been some cave-ins. So there's over passages that definitely it's a stone floor, and there's definitely somebody has etched out that sword. So basically, this map is exactly as it appears.
Okay. All right. So, what are we gonna do now? What are we supposed to do here?
Jacob says to the rest, I guess now might be a good time to explain what happened in our dream, just in case it was different.
Sure. Fuck it.
And he knows, none of them have been together since then, really, except, Jacob and Barb. But, yeah, so Jacob then just, starts going through it and allowing others to fill in whatever, pieces they saw fit. But, yeah.
Yeah, unless there's something specifically you want to role play about it. Doc was there, so he knows.
Right, yeah, that's what I was trying to think, and yeah. I don't think there is. He's just going through it all. And then when he finishes, just kind of stares at Lance, waiting for his response.
Just give me a synopsis so I have something to work off of your guys' dream.
You were there.
Yeah.
It was the fetch woman with the baby faces.
Yeah, the spooky shit that nightmare factory that he's put together.
How they told us about the whole fetches and people we lost our names, blah blah blah.
Yeah, they've got our names now.
Oh, that's
Barb kind of pipes. Oh god.
That sounds horrific. That sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, that I still don't understand how you all just disappeared. I thought I was having a dream as well, but I knew I stayed awake, and I had a dream and thought I saw something outside the tunnel. I walked out of the tunnel, and then there was a person there. And when I turned around, you were all gone. The cave was gone. Everything was gone. And this person took me somewhere. They took me to another place, like a village or something. There was a castle on a mountaintop or something like that, and there was a village with houses, shacks, with people inside of them, and I kept seeing my face changing in a mirror, and I was being chased. It was all just so nightmarish. I don't even know how to explain it. I was being chased, and then all of a sudden I ended up back where we all were, and I was in my hotel, and I got a call from that weird lady Miranda, and she had me come over, and then that was that next morning when I woke up in the house with all of you again.
Barb kind of leans up against the corner and crosses her arm over her chest. She's like, I've done as much research on the subject as I can. Miranda's taught me a little bit of what she knows, and I know enough French to read some of the books that she gave me, and what I read wasn't good, but it was really vague and very... It was like trying to read Old English. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense, and the stuff that did make sense, it sounded like tales meant to frighten children, but some of it lines up with what we've seen. It's not very much help, but it's something.
Well, you haven't explained anything. What are you talking about?
These fetches, these creatures.
What about them?
Old grim tales of children having their parents abducted and being replaced by these creatures, and then them eating them. Stories meant to frighten children. It doesn't really. It's like I said, I've only read what I can. I haven't unlocked all the secrets yet, but out of character, do I need to roll occult or anything on this?
Yeah, go ahead. Make it intelligence.
Intelligence?
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't put anything in positive modifier, right? It's
That's
just
correct.
straight up.
Everything's 0 except
2 successes.
Wow.
go. So I'm just going to kind of Barb is going to tell them everything she knows, right? So that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So you read there are one of the books that Miranda gave you. Basically, it was very general from what you've read so far and translated with Miranda's help, and it basically was called the Book of Five Horrors, and one of some of them are kind of very oh really, this is really werewolves, this is really vampires, there's really Frankenstein monsters, there's really ghosts, but one of them was kind of like body snatchers, basically that people are pulled into another place and that they're replaced with copies of themselves, and then those copies of themselves keep up appearances while the real person is gone. And yeah, that's really the general gist of it. That's as far as Barb has gotten so far. But that kind of lines up with the whole fetch thing and having your name. And
so
Yeah.
Barb, I mean, if they put a replacement in place while you're gone, what's happening to the person that's gone?
Jacob looks at Lance and he says, well, what was happening to you when I killed the other you? It was that night. Or the next night? No, that night, yeah.
That's the weird dream I'm talking about. There was some old ladies, and there was some kind of forest creature, and it just didn't make sense. None of it made sense. And I was being chased by some kind of wolf creatures, and then I woke up.
Barb just kind of nods. She's like, well, like I said, for being 800-year-old texts, wasn't able to gather a whole lot, but that sounds like it lines up with what little I was able to learn. This is going to be a big learning curve, guys. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of literature on this. These hunter people, they don't seem to keep very good documentation. So the more I learn, the more I'll tell you about this. But right now, you're just gonna have to sign it up as weird but true.
I don't know, maybe one of us should start keeping track of documents or something. Maybe we need to put some stuff into words, keep track of it. The more we figure out.
Well,
Yeah, I know. I'll take care of it.
Hey, you were the reporter, whatever.
yeah, I mean, that's what I do for a living. I write and I record.
Be honest, this place needs some fixing up. I think I'm gonna come here in my off time and fix it. Anybody wants to come by, I'll give you a call, I guess. This place looks like shit.
Well, with as weird as everything is going on, yeah, I guess this is better than just hanging out in my motel room by myself. I'll come with you.
You gonna get those soft hands dirty?
Yeah. Yeah, Ian, I will.
Alright. And I would get the number for your hotel room. It's like, yeah, I'll give you a call whenever I come out here. Probably gonna be on weekends or in the evenings. If you come out, great. If not, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
All right. Well, I think I need to maybe have a talk with the security guard so that we can come and go when we need to without having to pay $200 every time.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Jacob just says, you really weren't doing so well before. Maybe I should just do it. I mean, a lot of my family's buried here, and John is my uncle. And he clearly can come as he wishes.
Sure, kid. Sure, kid. Whatever you like.
And if not, I mean, your family's rich, so you guys can pick up the $200.
Jacob actually says, I have seen your wallet, and I think I should probably cover it if we have to.
Smart kid. Save me some beer money.
Okay.
You just let me know when you guys are ready to leave.
Yeah, Barb is probably one of the first people to leave.
I think we're good here.
Do you want to talk to the security guard or no?
I am, and I assume, I don't know if we're all leaving together, but Jacob's not trying to stay around very long either.
We should probably all leave together since we all came in together.
Yeah,
probably.
If three of us walk out and one of us comes out a little bit later.
Okay. So you head out and the security guard is kind of like, you notice he's kind of like sees you as you kind of like are walking out, and like he doesn't see where you're coming from specifically, but as you get closer, right, he sees you and he's like, okay, thought you got lost or something. Like, I better not find anything messed up anyway, Ian.
No, man, just had to go ahead and grab the rest of the bones of Doc Holliday's corpse so I can sell them.
And he actually kind of chuckles. He's like, okay, man.
So Jacob will say, the first time he's talked to the officer, so you're going to let us come here whenever we want, right? I mean, he did give you $200.
He's like, what are you talking about? You don't want to come back.
He shrugs and he says, I come here a lot.
Like, okay, I've never seen you here in the middle of the night.
He says, do you know John Albridge?
He's like, I've heard of him, right? They have a big mausoleum in there. Don't know him, no.
Okay. He said,
Head out there.
he says, sorry, internet. He says, well, my mom's actually buried in that over there. And then he points. And he says, and my uncle said that a lot of times they let him in at night, and I figured you'd start letting me in at night, and these are my only friends, so.
He's like, why don't you go ahead and roll some sort of...
Something I'm awful at?
Probably. Let's see what would make sense. Yeah, manipulation, subterfuge, persuasion. Yeah, probably one of those. Manipulation, persuasion is your best combo, probably.
Can I use a will.
Yeah, sure can. So if you want to use
And
the
that's
macro,
plus
just
3, correct?
yeah, just put a 3 in the bonuses. You definitely can use a willpower.
Okay.
Believe in yourself, Jacob. I did it. You can do it too.
Oh, with the willpower, you'll have like 6 dice or something.
Take nothing
Maybe.
for granted.
I knew I was gonna do this. I should have this ready. So positive modifier, just put 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That should work.
Whew.
Boom.
Powerful.
So it did roll him. Okay, good. So yeah, so he's like, I mean, I guess, like, yeah, fine. I mean, just don't mess anything up. I don't really care. It's just, I mean, I make minimum wage here, damn near it. I mean, like, I don't want any trouble, and I don't want to get fired.
He says, we're not gonna do anything that would cause you any trouble.
Okay, it's just strange is all.
Yeah, man, and I'll split you off some of the profit of these bones as we come in and out, no problem.
He chuckles.
Jacob's like, Ian, goddamn it.
Like, I don't even think he's really buried here, honestly. And he kind of just shrugs.
Shit, man, people will say anything to get money, you know that.
Like,
I bet
alright, well...
Sharon's buried over there, too. Oh shit, she's still alive. Never mind.
He's just like, okay. He's like, well, I'm gonna go back in here. It's cold out. And he goes back to his little hut and gets in where the space heater's keeping him warm and just kind of like pulls up a newspaper.
Well, hey, man, can I get my ID before you start fucking passing out over there?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, shit. And he returns your ID. He's like, sorry.
Don't even worry about it. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Because I know that motherfucker's going to sleep.
And he just doesn't really say anything, just looks at the newspaper, and you can see his eyes like getting heavy as you walk off. Okay. Alright, so before you left, Miranda asked that you guys would come back, obviously, because she had the second thing she wanted to talk about. So you drive back, and you get there, it's probably a little after 11 sometime, about 11:30. And you see her, she's wearing like her pajamas, basically. And sitting, like, yeah, she's sitting on the couch as you kind of come in this bottom, and she like gets up and walks over and waves you in as she sees you on the camera. And she's like, okay, how was it? Was it awful? I can't imagine going into a crypt or something like that.
Wasn't that bad.
Like, okay, good. She's like, well, sit down. I will give you the news. And she sits down. She's like, well, I reached out to a friend, as I said, and he had another contact that potentially might know more about this mother of fetches, he said. There's a club in Denver called Klub Konfession, and she just kind of shrugs. It's like, a goth club, I guess it's called? I don't know. And she kind of like, all I know is he said that there's 2 owners, Victoria and Ingrid are the names, and they might know more. That's really all I have.
Well, I, for one, am all about getting answers, so I'm going to head to this club in Denver. You guys can join me if you want.
Barb's just kind of perks up. She's like, oh, I'm going.
Jacob says, there's a group of goth kids at my school when I was going there, and I think I know how to fit in.
And she looks at Ian and she's like, what about you? Are you gonna go? The ghost
Ian, are you gonna go?
have dropped. Internet.
All right. Well, I'm sure Ian has some eyeliner. He'll go.
Oh, shit, I missed a decent bit of that. What happened?
He just you got back to Miranda's house, and basically she was telling you that there is a she through a contact learned that there is a club called Club Confession in Denver that the owners Ingrid and Victoria might know more about this mother of fetches.
Oh, Christ.
And
it's a goth club.
It is a goth club.
Don't pretend like you don't have eyeliner.
So basically, Ian's girlfriend is kind of got on the gothy side, so she could hook you guys up.
So, we're going into a goth club.
And she's like, "That's all I know. I mean, I'm sorry. He didn't know much either. He just told me that this sort of thing that they had been suspecting these two owners of knowing something about this sort of thing for a while."
In a bad way or a good way? Like to help us, or they're involved?
She says, "I don't know, honestly.
Great.
I don't think he would send you into danger. I told him that it was important to me, but you never know."
So did he goth up to get into this club to figure this out, or what? How do you figure this out?
He didn't tell me how he knew.
I'm just looking at Jacob like eyes like, hey, I bet your uncle gothed up.
It wasn't John, but it was some other guy.
Oh, too bad.
He just knows a goth.
Yeah, I know a goth. I got this.
Alright, are you guys gonna goth up?
Oh,
Jacob is for sure.
Lance is not.
Oh, so
Lance is not.
Barb is.
Oh, what do you know? Jacob and Barb are doing the same thing.
Oh, man. I can only imagine what my old buddies would be saying in the Corps if they heard me doing this shit. I want answers. I guess I'll do it.
To be fair, Barb was definitely a goth kid in high school.
It's more like a glam girl than anything else.
Yeah, she painted a glitter
that's the
star
thing.
I think she hit every phase.
No, she. See, the thing is she looks like she's, some preppy chick, but she tried really hard to break that thing, and just ended up looking more like a tool.
Freshman goth, sophomore athlete, junior year, fucking
Slut.
hair metal, senior year slut, glam girl. There you go. I've just described the 4-year high school career of Barb.
Lance is going as himself. He is a journalist looking for answers.
You gotta get in on the scoop, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ian's
So
gonna, I got somebody who can do us up.
yeah. So basically, you plan the next weekend to go, and you get ready, and a girl named Sydney Dawn, who maybe you guys haven't met, but she one second, sorry.
Jacob.
So this is kind of like Ian's girlfriend, or
Oh my
you don't
God.
even know actually.
Yeah.
So basically, she shows up, and not Miranda's. You actually go to Ian's, and she kind of like doos you up a little bit, and you head to Denver.
Her and Ian look like they're a 12-pack away from domestic violence.
Yes.
You said we needed a 12-pack.
Yeah.
That's foreplay.
I was just about to say that shit's foreplay.
Gotta slap each other up a bit. Oh my goodness.
I hope you guys are ready to vomit. By the way,
What kind of fucked up plays?
Hold on.
you think
I hope
that's
this is a
fucked
real
up.
plays.
No, you think that's fucked up.
I'm gonna look up Klub. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah.
That fucking square at the bottom. You're not cool here, nerd. Get out or we'll cut ourselves.
Hold on, wait. I gotta get this out of the way. All right.
Oh,
This is what you would have looked like.
professional. You fucked up, man. You could have been like some wannabe vampire reporter for 2 hours. Like some fucking guy who's drunk.
All right, you can put Lance's up there.
Sorry.
Did you acquiesce to like get fucking everybody?
No. You already said you weren't. Okay.
Exactly.
So,
Fuck now, normie.
so you see this? Actually, hold on. Sorry. Oh man, that was too funny.
Another image that I just fucking hate of Jacob. Congratulations.
Jacob looks beautiful, very androgynous.
So basically, you get these directions to this Klub Confession, spelled with K's. You drive down Dark Street using the directions you'd gotten over the telephone. There's barely a street lamp, dimly lighting a few feet at a time. You would see people walking about here and there, bums and vagrants, and you ignored them if you drove down Colfax. There it was, finally, lit up in the neon sign spelled out Klub Confession. The red velvet curtains emitted the faintest light from inside, and the noise of music inside escaped through every crack and window. So, alright, now tell me, you obviously are dressed the way you're dressed, but, are you going to try to go in packing heat and that kind of thing? What is your plan here?
Jacob would just take, like, his knife, probably. Because he's obviously not going to get his rifle in. Like, come on.
Obviously.
But he would take his knife.
I'm packing heat in my hands, so I don't need my fucking gun. I'm pretty sure I could punch out half the people in this establishment anyway if
So
they're dressed the way I
I was actually going to mention that he will stay next to Ian primarily, though.
Lance always has his concealed pistol.
Oh no. Jacob, are you gonna be my boyfriend?
So, can you say that in character, please?
No. I don't know if I don't. Sure. Alright, fuck it. So, little huddle before we go in. Alright, let's, just in case people try to chat us up, Barb, Lance is your square-ass boyfriend that you're trying to get involved in the goth scene. Jacob's my boyfriend. Let's do this. Clap.
Jacob, like, just literally doesn't move, but, like, kind of messes with his hair and then looks at the ground and walks forward.
That's like the best image of Jacob right there.
Alright, so...
I just don't give anybody a chance to respond. Just immediately, this is the plan. Let's go. Break. No questions.
Alright, so you walk towards the front door, and there is a bouncer outside. And he basically looks at you coming and doesn't say anything for the moment, and like kind of sees like Lance and kind of like takes his cigarette and takes a long drag off of it and like blows the smoke into the air. He's like, yeah, alright, let me see your IDs.
So Lance hands him his ID.
Same.
He goes through your IDs.
Jacob hands him his ID.
Yeah.
Are you underage?
Oh yeah. Jacob's like 18. And he's like, boy, can't let you in.
And he says, oh, I'm sure you can.
And he's like, why is that?
He says, because if I don't get in, then this hunk of meat up here don't get in.
God. And he's like, why don't you roll like, I don't know.
Oh my fucking god. This is gonna go sideways bad.
I really hope Rivers watches this episode.
I'm about. I'm gonna break the fucking wallet out here in a minute, and you will love what I say.
Roll.
Just to be clear, I am not playing into my vice of lust because I don't actually want to sleep with you.
Right.
So just
Manipulation subterfuge, which is gonna be a chance roll.
State it for the record.
So I'll let you do presence too, actually.
Oh, God.
So presence subterfuge, which a negative. So you're rolling one die. Basically.
Man, I'm just gonna use another will.
Oh, okay.
I made Jacob with a lot of will for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And I've
That's
never
fine.
run out, so let's
All
see.
right.
Fuck
So-
it, I'm just gonna pay him, so...
Yep. So just use your macro and then put that 3 in there. You're good.
I'm trying to avoid spending money. Oh, I didn't click my token. So presence subterfuge.
Yep.
The sub's using the sub.
Ah.
Yep. So did it roll 5
Oh
dice?
wait.
Yeah, you get a -1 for subterfuge being untrained.
Oh, I wouldn't have even done that if I would have. Oh, okay. Whoops. Oh well. I thought I was.
I'll let you take it back. That's
No,
that's fine.
I'll just-
You
I
Don't
didn't
use your
get any
willpower.
successes anyway, so I failed.
yeah, well, we'll give you back your willpower. That's fine. So he's like, yeah, sorry, kid.
Alright, man, how
You
much?
know what, Mr. What is your name?
They call me Gimli.
Mr. Gimli. Gimli. Oh, okay. Well, listen. This guy is actually, it's his cousin, and we're trying to get in here. We're from out of town. We're trying to get in here, show him the sights. We know some people inside, and we came by to see.
Oh yeah,
them.
who do you know?
What are their names?
Ingrid and Victoria.
Ingrid and Victoria, and we're actually guests of theirs. The young kid here, he was invited by them. We didn't know that we were gonna have to get by you to get in to see them. I mean, if you want to tell Ingrid and Victoria that we're not going to be able to see them after they invited us, that's up to you. But I think that if you want to stay in their good graces, you should probably let us through.
Why don't you roll subterfuge and manipulation, and I'll give you a bonus. Plus, well, it's gonna wash since you're not dressed in goth. So,
So subterfuge and manipulation. How do I add them together?
so just do the click on your token, go to the macro, and then
Uh-huh.
you'll select one, and then you'll be able to select the other after you
Oh,
select
okay.
the first one.
So subterfuge and manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't work, I'll go up to bat.
I'm just gonna pay this dude. I
That
guess
works.
money is the surefire way to
I don't
do
think
it.
that's right.
That's not right. That's not right. So any skill, right?
Yeah, any skill. Select your manipulation first, probably. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
Okay, I selected it.
and
Do I
then
submit
select
it?
no. Well, yeah, you have to collect. You have to submit and then collect
No,
the
that's
next.
what I did wrong then. So
Okay.
submit. Okay, now the next one.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. Then subterfuge. Submit. Okay, there we go.
It should be 3, right? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So he's like, well, all right. I mean, he's like, well, kid, don't get puking drunk, then. All right. He's like, I have to probably clean it up.
He's not even gonna drink. I promise that, Mr. Gimli.
He's like, all right. Well, if you see Victoria, put in a good word for me, if you know what I mean.
I sure will. I'll make sure she knows your name.
Oh, she knows my name.
All right.
He's like, all right, well, Have a good night, then. Alright. So, you walk in the door. Inside, the music is loud enough to make it difficult to hear. The bar radiates red lights from strobes and other lighting effects. The ceiling is decorated with chains hanging and pulled across the walls. 2 large cages hang at different spots about 10 feet off the ground. 2 scantily clad women dance within each. The entire club is shaped like a cross, and there were lights on the ground to illuminate that fact. On the right side of it was a bar that stretched out along the wall. At the other end was a beer well where a girl stood selling beers quickly. The dance floor was situated directly in the middle of the cross, while tables and booths could be found in various locations against the walls in every direction. The club was actually quite busy, with women and men almost entirely dressed in what you would consider goth attire.
Jacob just looks at Lance, and he says, well, you got us in here, so where are we headed now?
It was some primetime bullshit. I thought I was going to have to pay that guy again.
You know, I have no idea where we're going. We're supposed to meet or find these people. Probably the best place to start is at the bar.
Jacob says, well, we're in 2 groups, so might as well split up. Ian, where should we go? Bar's a good idea, though.
Yeah, we'll go to the bar and chat him up, see what we can figure out.
Sounds good. All together?
Yeah, we might as well. That's the
do it.
most logical place to go is the bar. Except for the bartender.
Okay. So you head to the bar, and there's, it's not like where you have to stand. There's about 6 stools open because most people are in the dance floor doing some really terrible dancing.
The pit.
Yeah. And this girl with this very pale complexion and bleached hair with like a hood, a red hood pulled over her head with red contacts and very pale looks, and she's like, "Hi, dolls," and she sees Lance and kind of rolls her eyes very obviously, and she's like, what do you want?
I'd like to start with a beer, please.
Like, all right, got a certain flavor. We have Schlitz, Natty Light, Busch Light, and Coors.
Well, I'm gonna go with the old standby, Natty Light.
Oh, baby.
And she grabs a Natty Light can out of the well and pops it and pushes it across. $2.
I slide, $2 over.
Okay. Do you have a Natty Light?
Got any PBR back there?
No PBR, sorry.
Fuck, man, I should just cut myself. It's subtle, you almost missed it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God, okay.
Oh, fuck, I mean, you got anything harder back there then? Something light for my partner here.
She's like, oh, yeah, of course. She's like, got plenty of mixed drinks back here I can make you. And she's like, you look like a guy that likes whiskey.
Yeah, I like some whiskey.
Yeah, she grabs a plastic bottle of whiskey and grabs this pint glass and pours what looks like probably 3 shots worth of whiskey in there.
Oh, baby, I'm making eye contact with her the whole time. Let her know I swing both ways.
And she pushes it. She's like, oh, what does he want? Maybe a margarita?
To me?
Yeah.
He says, Bloody Mary.
She's like, okay. And she gets this Bloody Mary mix out and pours just a ton of it into a pint glass, and then probably about half and half vodka Bloody Mary mix, and she takes like her finger and stirs it, and then pushes it over to you. And then she literally takes her finger and then kind of like licks it off afterwards.
Immediately, Jacob sits down.
She looks at the other two and she's like, "What about you two?" Or Barb, I should say.
Yeah, Barb kind of looks at the menu and, you know, like picks the most gothic sounding drink. She's like, "Oh, I'll have Edgar Allan Poe's Revenge."
And she's like, "Okay," and she turns around and opens the refrigerator behind her and like pulls out a pre-made drink and hands it to you.
Cracks a raven egg into it.
She's like, "Oh, that's my favorite."
Sure, it's not the Bloody Marys.
So
It's just business.
Lance is trying to make eye contact with her, and he starts talking to her. So, what's your name?
"Oh, I'm Debbie."
Hi, Debbie. I'm Lance.
"Hi, Lance. You're dressed kind of strange for this place."
Oh, I know. I'm actually a reporter.
She frowns. She's like, "Reporter? What does that have to do with how you're dressed?"
Well, I'm not here as one of your normal patrons. I'm here doing some investigation. Not some investigation. I'm here to do an article on your club. Who are the owners?
She just kind of like, she's like, yeah. And she just kind of like, "Well, I don't want to be involved in any of that, so, and she just kind of like walks to the other side of the bar.
Way to go, Lance. Jacob might have scored. You ruined it.
As you say that, Jacob says, "She's got to stay behind the bar all night," and walks over to like where she is and sits.
Well, it looks like I lost my fake boyfriend.
What did Jacob do?
So you said she, like, how long is the
Oh,
bar,
she
I
did.
guess?
It's like 12 feet long. I mean, it's.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So he just like scoots like one seat over, right? And when Ian says that, he says, "We can be into chicks too."
And
I don't know, man. I don't know how comfortable I feel tag teaming her with you. You can have it.
God.
All right, so she walks kind of back, and she's like, she looks at Jacob and kind of like rolls her eyes. And she's like cleaning glasses.
She's what?
She's just like cleaning glasses behind the bar. The washing machine or whatever is not washing machine, dishwasher is right in front of you.
So Jacob tries to talk to her again. She's like, Debbie, I know you probably don't want anything to do with talking to a reporter, but the owners run a business, and a business makes money, and they need to advertise and promote to be able to do that, to get people to come in. I'm sure the owners would appreciate if you cooperated with us. These are just simple questions. I was just curious about who the owners were, and if maybe I could talk to them.
She's like, "Are you a fucking cop?"
A cop?
Yeah. She's like, "What do you want?" She's like, looks kind of nervous, and she's like, "I don't want to be answering any questions."
I show her my press pass,
and she just like looks at it, and she's like, doesn't like even respond. But like,
just like I said, I'm a reporter, and the owners of a business would probably appreciate it if you helped by creating a little bit of awareness for their business.
And she just she like is not into that whatsoever. She's like, "You're gonna have to ask somebody else," and she takes a few orders and kind of like walks away from
Well, Lance, you're on a roll, but I guess we gotta go find another chick to talk to. What about the chick at the beer well?
I'm gonna go let her know I'm a reporter.
Are you gonna go over to the beer well?
I'll go with him.
Jacob's not gonna move.
Didn't figure. It's like I'll see that. It's like, yeah, Jacob, hold it down. Good luck, buddy. Pat him on the shoulder. Let me know. Stuff, details, props.
Barb, are you gonna go with him?
No, she's out in the crowd dancing right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll come back to you guys. So you walk over to the beer well, and there's this girl with black hair with a red highlight, dressed in a plastic jumpsuit, basically with a very low cut front, and she like has she actually has PBRs over here.
Oh shit! Oh baby. Hey baby. Oh yeah, immediately. Cheap beers, PBRs, sure.
Yeah, she hands them out, and she just like kind of smiles and $2.
Make it 4. I'm gonna double fist them.
And she just kind of chuckles and hands over the other beer and looks at Lance, and she sees that he has a beer already, but she kind of looks at you like, you know.
Yeah, don't even worry about hooking him up. He's a lightweight. That one will do him. But hey, I'm really digging the atmosphere in here, you know, like, I don't see a lot of places like this where I'm from, and this is hardcore bullshitting. But man, like, my buddy over here, he's kind of a square, but he is a reporter. He likes this place, believe it or not. I mean, he didn't dress up like he should, but we're trying to work him over to it, you know. He was wondering, I wanted to get him in touch with, like, some people who know this shit, who are down with this shit. And I heard that, what are they, Ingrid and Victoria?
Yes.
I heard, you know, the club owners, I think Ingrid and Victoria, right? I mean, he really wants to sit down with them, get the word out about this place. He loves this place, I'm telling you. And like, he doesn't look like, I mean, look at his face, you know, but he's digging it. I mean, he's been loving this shit so far. You hook us up?
She's like, well, I really like your makeup.
Oh shit, thanks. I did the shit, you know. I had a little bit of help putting it on. I can't lie, you know, a friend of mine. But you know, I love this look. This is me, you know. And oh my god, if I had to roll something, I would fuck this so hard. But...
No, she's like, ah, you are just you're cute, aren't you? And she like just kind of like playfully like grabs your wrist, and she's like, oh, I mean, I guess I could talk to Victoria. What did you want to know? And she seems like pretty much a ditz.
Oh, you know, my buddy here just wanted to, you know, have you know, conversation, talk to him about the club and get a feel for it. You know, he isn't down with this shit yet, but we're working on him. You know, he needs to be down with this shit. And speaking of, you know, cute, I mean, I'm looking you up, and I mean, hey, you know, there are some fine ass girls around here, but I gotta say,
why don't you roll Oh
no.
God!
Willpower immediately.
Hold on,
because this is awful.
Let's see.
Persuasion,
presence, and we'll do presence, socialize.
Oh baby! All right, I will willpower.
All right, so that'll be a total of 6 die.
Present, socialize,
Mm-hmm.
and positive modifier 3.
Yep.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We lose you. Yep.
Is he gone again?
Yeah.
Ah. What kind of connection does he have?
Can't be any worse than mine.
Yeah, he is. He gets cut out a lot.
Yeah, like frequently.
Yeah, but that could be easily his router or something.
Yeah, could be.
It's not a game with ghosts until I lose internet for 2 minutes.
We just waited for your roll.
Alright. 3 positive modifier.
Yep.
Oh, was it worth the wait?
Holy
baby.
shit! Look at that roll. So she like smiles and she's like, well, and she's like, yeah, I could probably set you up with something, and she's like, I mean, yeah, and she's like, well, let me, when I take my break, I'll go talk to her, and she's like,
Hey,
you don't want to talk to
break.
Ingrid.
When you're on that break, hook that up for my buddy here, right? I mean, he's not hard to pick out in the crowd, but I think you and I got some things to discuss, you know. Just,
She says, yeah, I think you're right. And she says, I have, would you like me to bring you something special?
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Hold on.
I'm gonna be fucking vampirized by the end of the night, I'm sure.
Nah, you're about to be in a black leather suit that zips all the way up.
Oh no. Ian's gonna get gimped. No, I don't know about that.
And she's like, yeah, I can get us some dust.
Oh shit. Well,
And she's like, yeah, that bitch over there, Debbie, she sells it.
oh yeah?
He's like, yeah, I can get it for cheap.
I mean, what's life without a little fun, right?
And she smiles and she's like, yeah, about 15 minutes, I'll get somebody to cover me. And she's like, meet me over there. And she kind of like points to this, one of the hallways has like you can kind of vaguely see it has a couple doors and that. She's like, over there.
Alright, sounds good to me. See you in 15, and I'll sort of, and this might be a poor idea, but I'll get closer and like lick the side of her face, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Play into the-
she
play
digs
into the
that.
culture.
Yeah, she digs that, and as you're doing that, she like kind of like grabs you and starts making out with you.
Oh baby.
Lance
So-
just kind of rolls his eyes and
Yeah.
walks back over to the bar.
Yeah. So on the dance
We all
floor.
came here for. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Saying that we all came down here for a mission and it ends up we're all out partying instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob's trying to get laid. I'm gonna get fucking stoked on angel dust. Lance is the only one
PCP.
doing his fucking job, and Barb is dancing.
So out on the dance floor, a guy.
Asshole.
No, that was totally not like. That's funny, no.
Fucking dreadlock Mozart. Oh baby.
Oh god, yeah. Finding the images was probably the best part about this.
Holy shit.
So on the dance floor, Barb's like doing her dance, and this guy kind of like has this like overcoat, and he's like, "This is my favorite song," and he like extends his arm towards Barb.
She does like the crosses with her fingers. She's like,
He's like, "Won't you dance with me, my lady?"
and she just kind of shakes her head. She's like, I ain't your lady. And then she like dances closer with a group of girls.
And then he like frowns and like walks off.
Fuck up, bitch.
So back over to Jacob now that Lance is gone. Debbie kind of comes back over and she says, "Oh, I'm glad your friends are gone."
Yeah, Jacob just like, I don't know what that guy's deal was.
She's like, "Aren't you with him?"
He says, yeah, but I didn't think he'd come in here yelling about being a reporter. I was here to have some fun.
And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do you want to have some real fun? Don't tell your friend."
He says, why do you think I stayed?
She smiles and she's like, and she basically, she kind of flashes, she like kind of rummages around under the bar for a minute and kind of flashes you this like little tiny baggie of white powder, and she's like, "I've got some dust here for cheap if you're really looking for a good time."
He, I don't know how he would respond to this. See, I'm sure this is the first time Jacob's seen angel dust.
Yeah.
I guess he's gonna do his best to stay like in character and say, I'm actually very interested in this.
She's like, "For this, I give you a good deal, $100. I'll even do some with you."
He says, well, I mean, if it's already yours and we're splitting it, I mean, isn't $100 kind of expensive?
"Oh, I'll use a different one. This is all you for all night. I don't think you would need more than this."
And, I mean, he doesn't know if he's supposed to do the whole bag at once.
Oh, Jesus.
Like,
Oh,
spread
God.
it out. But he, yeah, because he still wants the, he's trying to get the information. He doesn't know what's happening over there, so he says,
Yeah.
all right, that seems pretty fair, as long as you're gonna be, doing something with me.
"Oh, of course." And she's like, "What I'll do is you buy a drink and then tip me, and then I'll pass it over with your drink."
In bag form, correct?
Yes, in bag.
Just making sure. He says, that sounds great. You order my drink this time.
Okay. So basically, she's like messing with the drink, and she kind of puts like the pint glass, like they don't have any other kind of glassware besides pint glasses, obviously. And she like pushes it over, but the bag is like underneath the actual glass, and she kind of pushes it over. And you can see that she has a long fingernail on her pinky, and you can see like she's got it like sitting, and there's this white dust in her like fingernail.
So he takes his glass and takes the bag and pockets it.
She's like, "Are you ready?"
I fucking knew she's got. He says, "Just a moment. You mind if I let these guys over here know that I probably won't be joining them for the rest of the night?"
Oh, she's like, "Yeah, sure. Just come back quick." And she just like sniffs it without you being there.
Yeah, he says as quick as I can, and he runs off. But now that she can't see his face, you can totally tell it's more of a frantic run, not like an excited run.
Yeah.
And he's booking it towards Ian and Lance. And he probably doesn't see Barb in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, I was lost.
Oh, shit.
And when he gets there, he says, "Ian, I need to talk to you."
Yeah, what's up, man?
And he turns away.
You, actually.
He turns away and shields from Lance, like as much as he can, and like shows the little bag of dust, and so he says, "How much is this gonna fuck me up?" Hoping Ian knows much more about this shit than he does.
How much do I know about drugs, probably?
I mean, would you think he's ever done PCP before? I don't know.
I mean, he was a fucking Marine, and he's been through some hard times in his life. He might know about it at least.
And
Yeah, I
considering
mean-
girlfriend
He's
is-
known other Marines. He's got a goth girlfriend who probably does hardcore drugs.
And a medic of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell him whatever you think. I mean, would be reasonable.
I mean,
Oh, you'll be fine. Take the whole bag.
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't hit it too hard. I mean, that's your first time doing this drug, man. I wouldn't hit it too hard. I'm actually about to do some myself. I was gonna tell you about this.
Oh, son of a fucking bitch. Okay, so above board, I'm over here like, I'm gonna run over there. Ian's gonna be like, all right, you gotta fake doing it, blah, blah, blah. Nope, he's like, yeah, just fucking do some.
Look, I'm drunk, okay?
Let's do it. No, so he's like, I guess if it's
I
gonna work.
pre-gamed before we came here, so
He just,
Ian's already drunk.
I guess he says, let me see your hand.
I think Ian's gonna have a moment of clarity. He's like, man, Jacob, I don't know, man. You go down that road, that can fuck you up. I might just, maybe you should, I don't know,
Jacob-
play it off.
Jacob says, oh, I wasn't gonna do any, but I need the bag to be a little lower.
Oh shit, nah, just go ahead. Here, hook me up.
Yeah.
I'll
And
take
he-
one for the team, Jacob. Don't worry about it.
He gives some to Ian. And then he purposely leaves, like, he like pours it in his hand and then puts it in Ian's hand. And then,
I'm gonna coach him on how to do this, how he should be acting if he's high. Okay. So if I can do, like, is that like a medic thing? So I'm gonna try to coach him.
Yeah, that's
through-
fine. Why don't you do like
Alright.
an intelligence? What is the? Let's see. Yeah, whatever the medical.
Intelligence
medicine.
medicine.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. Ian's fucking retarded. I might have to willpower this one too.
Your medicine should be pretty decent though.
Medicine's good. It's 2,
I need to know about drugs, man.
but intelligence is 1. So this feels crucial. So yes. You must give the appearance of being lit, Jacob. Let me explain this to you. Intelligence, medicine, willpower, and I'll bump that down again. No more willpower tonight, unless it keeps me from getting whiskey dick with this. Oh, I just remembered enough, so you're lucky.
Yeah, so he gives you the general gist of, you might feel euphoric and kind of strange.
Right. But yeah. Okay, perfect. So he heads back and then, like, with it clearly like on the side of his hand still, because he was purposely trying to keep it there as he was headed back. He sits down and starts talking really fast, like, hey, I'm back, what time do you get off? Oh, this
She's
stuff's
like,
great.
oh, you did all that?
He says, wasn't I supposed to?
Oh, she's like, and she's like, I said it would be good for all night.
And as soon as he says, like, he was totally trying to mess with her, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he says, no, I can show you if you want. It's just a little.
Oh, she's like, oh God, you had me shitting my pants. And she kind of laughs, and she's like, you're funny.
Yeah, and he nods and really fast.
Yeah. All right. So, and she's like, "Oh yeah, what did your friend? What did he want? He wanted. What did you want me to do?" And she's kind of befuddled.
He says, "Oh, we were supposed to meet with," and then says, "What are their names?"
Victoria and Ingrid.
Yeah, Victoria and Ingrid. But I don't know what they look like, so I was hoping you could show us, but you ruined it.
Oh, she's like, yeah, I suppose I could. And so 15 minutes has passed, and you notice, well, at least Ian noticed Tori walk kind of from her station down the hallway, and her plastic pants are jiggling. And yeah, she heads down and kind of looks over her shoulder, and she has a pacifier in her mouth, like that lights up, right? So.
Oh boy. Did she hook us up with any deets on Vicky and Ingrid at all?
Mm-mm.
Or
No, not yet.
I guess I gotta work that out. I was like, oh, all right, Lance.
Run it through the D.
Try not to get shanked while I'm gone. I would say this will only take a minute, but I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. Try to find Barb if you get scared. See you in a minute.
All right, so you head down the hallway,
Oh boy.
and
Fucking die back here.
you open this door, and it kind of like opens into this like little circular room, and you notice there's a couple other doors on the other side, and in the middle is basically Tori standing there with her shirt completely, or her jacket, whatever, completely open.
I bet he dropped at the best time.
Oh man.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm here. I'm trying to think of how to... This is pretty special, I gotta say.
PR.
Reverse PR.
So Lance is looking around. It's like,
Yeah, go ahead.
what is everyone doing? Where is everyone?
Yeah, Jacob's at the bar. You can't really tell where Barb is, and Ian just walked off after this chick. You guys are the best hunters ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we fucked this up hardcore. I mean, I'm gonna have details in a little bit, but I imagine I'm not coming out of there for a while.
Well, as you step closer, one of the doors actually opens,
Oh shit.
and let's see.
Nani? What's going on here?
And this chick walks out with a top hat on,
Oh
and
my.
she's like, "Oh, Tori, not again." And she's like, "Sir, I think you're gonna have to stop. Tori needs to get back to work." And this is before any fucking has happened.
Oh man. I'm gonna start
Blue
doing up
ball
my
by
pants
checking
again.
the top hat.
She's like, "I guess I can buy you a drink for your inconvenience."
I'll just take her number actually, if it's fine with you. If you want to do me a service, help me out with something else instead, that can pay for my inconvenience.
And what is that?
I need you to speak with a friend of mine.
And Tori says, "Ingrid, I'm sorry. And she's basically, "Just get back to work, Tori. Blow your boyfriends or whatever on your own time."
And then she's getting ready to leave. She's like, hey, pass me your number before you go back out there.
And she's like, "Just come and see me later."
Alright, let me know when you're off.
And Ingrid's like, "Now what did you want?"
I got a friend of mine who is out there. He counts like a square, but he wanted to do a story about your club. Want to ask you some stuff, talk to you about it. I mean, he's really taken by the place. He likes it. I mean, he's not gonna look like he likes it when he's out there, but I'm telling you, he does. We're trying to bring him around this kind of lifestyle, you know.
Uh-huh. And she's like, "I suppose I could talk to your friend?" And she's like, "Okay." And she like waves towards the door.
Alright, you want me to bring him in, or?
"No, I'll come out there."
Alright. You'll know who I'm talking about as soon as you step out. Trust me.
She walks out and kind of like does see Lance like lingering around, and she like points to him to confirm that's who you're talking about.
And I'll make like a so like frown type thing where you're like, yeah, unfortunately. It's like, that's him.
And she walks over to Lance and she's like, "Can I help you?" your friend here, I guess, said you wanted to talk to me?
I'm gonna mouth the words Ingrid over her shoulder at Lance.
Ingrid. Yes. Hi.
Hi?
Can we have a seat and just talk a little bit?
Okay. Is there something... Who are you and what do you want?
Sorry. My name's Lance. I'm a reporter, a journalist, and I'm doing a story. I come from New York, and there's a rather sizable kind of goth scene there, and we're doing stories about the goth scene in different areas and different states, and how it's portrayed in different towns, and we've heard a lot of good things about your club. So I was doing a story. I was hoping to do a story with you about your club here.
Okay, well, sure.
Yeah. How long have you guys been here?
Oh, we've been open for 3 years, given a little change, I think.
Okay, 3 years. And is it just you, or do you work with anyone else? Are you the sole owner?
Yes, I'm the sole owner.
Okay. Have you heard of any of the other clubs in New York?
And she oh, not really. I don't pay attention to that kind of thing. I might dress this way, but really I just do this for money.
You just do this for money? Oh, okay. Well, there's one of the clubs in New York that's called Club Fetch. You've never heard of that one?
And she kind of brushes her hair aside. She's like, Club Fetch. And why don't you roll something with empathy here? Let's wits empathy. Wits empathy with hold on. With a negative do a -2.
Damn.
Should have gothed up, bro.
And she's like, yeah, I've not heard of that.
You've not heard of that? Oh, wow. There's a string of clubs there. Some would say that the main club is the mother of fetches, so... really
she's
popular
just
place.
looking at you kind of sidelong, and she's like, what does this have to do with anything?
Oh, I was just wondering what you might have heard about as far as the scene in New York. Apparently nothing. What's the other lady's name?
Victoria. But as you guys are talking on the dance floor, finally, someone else comes out towards Barb and kind of puts a hand on her shoulder, and she's like, "Are you new here?"
And Barb's just like, yeah, I came down to Colorado came down to Denver to check out the scene. I haven't been able to go to one of these kind of clubs since I was in college.
He's like, "Oh well, do you care for a drink?"
And she's like, "Sure." And she kind of looks down, and her drink was long been emptied.
Yeah, she takes you by the hand and kind of leads you over towards the bar. So at the bar now is Jacob and Debbie and this Victoria, apparently, leads Barb over there, and she nods to Debbie, who starts making 2 drinks without even actually saying anything. She says, She's like, yeah, this has been a strange night. And she kind of just looks around.
Yeah, Barb just kind of nods. She's like, I've had a very, very strange couple of months.
Oh, really? Tell me about it. And she kind of just sits there, looking at you intently.
And she just kind of looks at her. She's like, you would think I'm crazy if I even said a quarter of it.
Oh, I wouldn't think you're crazy, my dear. Look at us all. And she kind of smiles. Why don't you try me out? I'm a good listener.
And Barb's like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't have anybody else to talk to. She's like, well, where should I begin?
Begin at the beginning.
The very beginning, there was this fire, and then I'm just going to trail off from there, and because I don't want to have to say the entire list of events.
Yeah, no. You basically tell her everything?
Oh yeah,
she's like, oh. And she's like, that is strange for sure. And,
Did you ask her about a rare earth relics?
God damn! He's got the third game. He's got it. It's not right.
Anyway, so Victoria just like smiles and she's like nodding and she's like, I think, well, it's interesting that you say all these things and that you're here now. And she's like, you see those doors over there? It kind of points to the general doors where Lance went through last time. She's like, I have a room here and no funny business or anything. I mean, and she kind of like strokes your hair and like in almost a motherly way. Not a sexual way, really. And she says, maybe you can come back and we can talk about it.
And Barb kind of cuts her eyes over to her friends, and she's like, yeah, just let me tell my friends where I'm going so I'm not missed.
Okay. And she like, she's like, just come through the door and then the first door on your left.
And she's going to tell Lance, who I don't know if she's even going to pay attention, or he's going to pay attention to her while she's saying it. She's like, I'm going to go talk to, did Victoria ever give her a name?
No.
And she's just like, I'm going to go talk to some girl in another room. I'll be back, and I don't know. She just kind of leaves trailed off like that.
What I had, like, this is, okay. So over at the bar, again, Debbie is talking to Jacob, and she's like smiling, and Gimli, you see the bouncer come back over towards the bar, and he's like, Debbie, hit me up. And she like rolls her eyes, and she's like, are you gonna pay this time? And he's like, just give me the damn shit, woman. And she proceeds to like not so like subtly give him a pouch of angel dust, and he kind of looks at Jacob and he's like, what? Kid.
But
Conveniently, all this drug doing's been done right behind Barb's back.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you, you fucking narc.
What is Jacob doing? Swamp, are you there?
yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I missed the end of it.
Oh, she just Gimli's like looks at you and he's like,
Oh right.
he's like, what? He's like, this is my girl. And he nods to Debbie, who does not look like she reciprocates that sort of comment.
Well,
Go big or go home, Jake.
he says, I think she wants to be my girl.
Oh no!
He's like, oh yeah?
Bad.
He's like, your girl, huh? He's like,
Yeah, he's definitely lusting over this bitch.
yeah, he kind of like taps his chest. He's like, I ride with the wolves, boy. Your ass is grass. Fuck with me.
He like kind of looks over his shoulder, like looks around, doesn't see Ian anywhere. So he's gonna stall, and he says, "Oh, I don't plan to do anything. I mean, look at me. I'm a lover, not a fighter."
And he's like, "You're a ginger-haired fuck, is what you look like to me."
Oh shit.
He says, "I may be a ginger, but my friend could kick your ass."
He's like, he's like, which one? The stupid reporter or the one with the skull face? I'm guessing I know which.
Yeah, I believe the way it goes is something like, the skull face will skull fuck you if you touch me.
And he's like, "God, you're
Or
soft,
my
aren't you,
girl."
kid?"
And he points, and he says, "No, I'm not soft. I just have good friends."
He's like, "Yeah, well, you tell Skullboy to come outside if he wants a piece. That girl there, she ain't going nowhere with you, I guarantee it."
She'll be leaving, and we'll be walking over you while you lay down.
Oh my god.
And he's clearly like riding a high. Like this is not a normal Jacob attitude towards the situation.
Lance stands up and he hears this going on over here next to him, and he walks over. He's like, okay. Sorry about that, Mr. Gimli. My friend probably has had too much to drink. He didn't mean any of that."
Jacob says, "I've had an appropriate amount, and he's gonna whoop your ass." And every time he says it, he looks at what's her face, the bartender that he can't remember the name of.
Debbie.
Debbie. Every time, like he's definitely gauging Debbie's reaction.
I can't remember her name, but I'm gonna get someone else to fight for her.
She's just kind of like looking down, looking kind of very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be going over to get a drink or something, and I hear this shit going down. I'm like, well, what the fuck's going on, Jake?
Don't get us kicked out, guys. Don't get us kicked out.
Yeah, Ingrid walks over there at the because Lance went over there, right? And she's just like, "Gimli, get back to the door and quit being a dumbass." And he's like, ugh, and kind of grunts, but he like, whatever, and kind of walks back towards the door.
Jacob just whispers to Ian, "When we leave, I think you're gonna have to fight that guy."
Oh, whatever. Biker trash.
Exactly how I knew Ian would respond.
I'm sorry about that, Ingrid. We're not trying to create a scene here.
And
Not
she's
yet.
like, "Well, your attire creates the scene." And she's like, "These are your friends?" And she looks at Ian and Jacob.
They are my friends.
"Well, this one already tried to fuck my bartender in the back room." She nods towards Ian.
They're not good friends.
Hey, man, she offered.
Jacob says, "No, I haven't yet."
And she kind of looks like very confused by that comment, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever." And she's like, "Are you gonna? What are we talking about here?" And she kind of like throws up her hands.
Well, I was just wondering more about who that other woman was that walked by us. The tall one with the dark hair. She was talking to our friend by the dance floor, and they walked
that's
by.
Victoria. And as she says that, the scene switches to Barb walking in the back room into this this room. I'm going to be pulling you into.
Oh no.
This is where the high-priced hanky-panky goes down.
This is where vampires fucking eat club guests.
Yeah, I'm toast. Pulling up another character sheet now.
No, you just get new powers. As in, your new power is you can't go outside during sunlight.
So Victoria brings you in, and she's like, "Oh, sit down," and she grabs this. She's like, "Would you like some wine?" And she basically has this half-open bottle of wine, or it's uncorked, and she kind of pours it in a goblet in front of you and pours her one. She's like, it's very loud out there.
And Barb takes the glass but doesn't really drink out of it. She's kind of trying to pace herself at this point.
So why don't you roll like let's see, what would be a good roll? Barb, where are you? How about a wits and either. Let's do wits and intelligence combined. Your macro should be able to do that.
Oop. That just blows all kinds of donkey dick.
So, so she takes a drink of her wine and she's like, so what you told me is very familiar. And she kind of like rubs her chin and she says, my partner Ingrid, I believe she's up to something, and, well, that you would come to me and say these things have me very perturbed.
Perturbed in what way?
Perturbed that I believe you're here to do me ill, she says.
And Barb kind of looks at her strange. She's like, I'm unarmed. I'm not here to hurt anybody.
She's like, that is not what I mean. And she kind of stands up and walks to the desk back there and looks up at this strange thing up there, the bust, and there's this amulet hanging up there, and she kind of reaches up, and instead of grabbing the amulet, she grabs one of those swords and kind of pulls it down slowly, and she says, you're going to tell me what you're doing here and why Ingrid has sent you.
And can I try to roll persuasion something?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You can do persuasion. Well, what? You tell me how you role play it, and we'll figure out what you're going to roll.
And well, Barb will just kind of be like, "Whoa! Listen, we have some friends who pointed us in this direction. We're not here to hurt anybody. Some strange stuff is going on, and this was our only lead that we were given. We're not here to start any fights. Listen, again, I'm unarmed. I don't have any issues against you. Whatever you may be or what you do here is none of my business. This is out of my jurisdiction."
She's like, jurisdiction?
And she's like, yeah, I told you, I work for the sheriff's department out in my area. There's been some goings on, and we've been trying to take care of it. And I'm the only one who is currently able to leave Glenwood Springs. That's why I'm here. Again, I mean no harm.
Let's do well,
She would have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Persuasion, wits will do. Talking on your feet.
Get ganked.
Oh, Barb.
And she, like, kind of paces in front of you, and she's like, if you want to prove yourself to me, you need to get into Ingrid's room, and you need to figure out what she's planning. I know she's planning something. You do that, and I'll help you.
Barb just kind of shakes her head at the absurdity of all this, and she's like, "Are you a hunter?"
And she, like, looks at you with, like,
on?
like her eyes widen huge, and she's like, a hunter? And she's like, no, I am not a hunter. And she's like, just do what I say.
You a hunter?
Well, so Barb has told her the whole story, so it's not like, I mean, she told her everything, right?
Yeah.
And so Victoria's like, so she's like, no, I am not a hunter. I am quite simply nothing. But I do not trust her. Go into her room and find anything that seems out of place and bring it to me or tell me about it. You do that, and then I have some things I can tell you.
She nods, and it's like, well, breaking and entering in another county is not something I necessarily want to do, but I really don't want to get stabbed by a sword either, so it looks like I don't have a whole lot of options, and this will at least lead to the information if I'm successful.
And she knows, and she's like, her room will be locked, so you're not going to get in without the key. And she says, get back to me by the end of the night, and I'll have something for you. And she just kind of points towards the door.
And Barb kind of nods, but she never turns her back on her, but just kind of walks slowly back towards the door, trying to put on her best smile, and then as soon as she closes the door behind her, she does that kind of quick walk thing where, you don't move your arms, just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah. So you walk back out in the club, and there's basically just, you see Ian, Jacob, and Lance kind of around Ingrid. You're free to join them. Ingrid is like, well, and she's just talking about how she opened the bar 3 years ago, and kind of looks getting to be pretty bored with the conversation.
But I'm so charming.
Yeah.
So, Ingrid, where'd you get that hat?
She's like, okay, well, I think I'll retire.
Well, wait, don't you have any magic tricks? Can you pull something out of the hat?
She's like, I hope you're buying a lot of booze, because otherwise I'll have Gimli come here and throw your ass out.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll buy enough for all of us.
And she gets up and walks kind of over to another booth with David here. They're conversing in the corner.
Barb quickly kind of shuffles over to Ian and Lance, and she's like, we need to talk now.
Alright. Is it a private conversation or what?
Yeah, as private as we're gonna get in here.
Just get a fucking booth.
Yeah, you can find a booth. I want everybody to roll a wit and subterfuge.
Oh boy.
I'm a baller.
My computer froze, so give me a moment.
That's fine.
Oh, we got fucked on.
Alright, this is like legitimately froze one moment.
I can roll for it, Chris.
Alright, go for it.
Yeah, let him roll for you since he just rolled like 3 10s. For something.
So, let's see.
Oh shit, Jake, we're gonna get me fucking beat up. That's what this is. Oh no.
Wits. I said wits and what?
Subterfuge. I'm about to get jumped by some fucking bikers.
You better win. You're always talking about how throw these hands. Well,
Lance, put your fucking hands up. If it's 4-on-1, it's gonna be some tough times. They're still fat bikers.
Yeah, but I'm a punch. I can be a punching bag.
So you walk over to the booth and slide in there, and yeah, go ahead.
Oh, all right, Barb. Throw it out there. What the fuck's on your mind? It's been a long night.
Well, it looks like I don't. She kind of leans down and hopes that nobody else can hear her, and even kind of lowers her hat across her face so nobody can like read her lips or something, or at least she thinks she's being subtle. And she's like, "That woman I was talking to wants me to break into that girl Ingrid's room and look for something, anything. She thinks that she's doing something against her. She pulled a knife on, or she pulled a sword on me.
Wait, she fucking what?
She pulled a sword on me. She thinks that we're in cahoots with that Ingrid chick.
Who was it that you were talking to?
Her name was Victoria.
I mean, what is she to this place?
She said she was a co-owner to this place.
Really? Because I was talking to Ingrid and she said she was the sole owner.
Out of character, she said co-owner, right?
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's I don't forget that kind of thing. It's kind of part of who I am, so I can tell you that she definitely thinks that Ingrid's trying to get in on her turf or something. I don't know, but she wants us to get into that room. The door's locked, and it's not really my skill to go breaking and entering.
Oh, it's my skill.
Well, Ingrid definitely lied then. So maybe Victoria is right. Maybe Ingrid is up to something. Do you think if we helped her, she would help us?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Either that, or we're going to get beat up by bikers, or get stabbed by weird, strange goth women. I don't really like my odds either way.
Or we could just walk out of this place.
Fuck that. Then it's all for nothing. Do I remember which door Ingrid walked out of? I'm assuming that's her room.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you would remember that. What does Jacob think about this?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, he's actually not sure at all. These are the two people they told us to come talk to?
Yes.
But they're on opposite sides right now.
That's what it seems like, yep.
See, like, Jacob would want to know why, I guess. So he wouldn't tell you guys not to steal it, but he doesn't really have much input. He's just kind of watching.
Barb kind of looks at the Ian and Lance. She's like, one of you is going to have to distract her. I've probably got the best chance of spotting if anything's awry. It's kind of what I do.
Alright, so since Lance is the most distracting looking fucking person in here, I guess he can do that. And you and I will go break into this bitch's place. Unless anybody's got any better ideas. Oh, Lance, make sure you stick close to Jacob in case that biker comes back in. I know you don't have much of a shot, but...
Jacob pipes up and he says, "Fuck that guy. He's not gonna do shit."
Alright, well, just yell really loud and then, so maybe I'll hear you.
And then he's actually, and then he says, "But be ready to come if I scream."
I'm gonna give him the hang loose sign. Yep.
I'm gonna stay there, and I will. Yeah, I'm gonna stay there and make sure that Ingrid doesn't make her way back towards you guys.
If you see her coming back there, just I don't care what you do, man. Make a little bit of a scene, spill some drink, whatever you gotta do. Just hold her up till we find this shit. When we come back out, we can do whatever. When we get what we came for and get it to this other weirdo, then we can get the information and get out.
Yeah, Lance spots Ingrid. She's sitting at a booth alone, kind of sipping a drink.
So Lance swaggers on over.
Oh, fuck's sake.
To her booth.
A little bit.
She looks up and she's like, "You again? Oh my god!"
I'm sorry. I don't know why you aren't affected by all of this. And he waves his hands up and down.
Oh my god.
She says, "I love your tooth."
You love my what?
Tooth, dear. And as she says that, Ian and Barb head towards the back.
Tooth. Oh, fuck. Never mind.
Listen, lady. I see you too. Don't think that I don't. And don't think that I don't know that Victoria is also an owner of this place. I've already been told by other people about that.
And she's like, "Not for long, not for long." And
mean?
Ian and Barb walk into the back, and there's no one in there.
Alright, so I'm just gonna fucking bash this door down then.
So you go over to the door. How are you gonna try to do it?
You're really gonna... Okay, never mind. I'm not there.
Can Barb pick locks?
What skill is that under?
I don't think you can. You don't have the right tools, or
Lance does, but you guys
you're
insisted on going.
You're telling me I don't have one bobby pin?
you don't know how to pick locks.
Not with that hair.
Yeah, your hair's straight.
You fucking tease that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, then I'm just gonna fucking strength this down. Or break my shoulder trying, I guess.
So you like slam into it, and it like bounces you back, and you feel it, and it's like, it's not a wooden door, although it kind of looks like one. It's like metal.
What the fuck?
Jacob, where are you? Are you at the bar still?
No, he was at the booth, but
at the booth.
When Lance, he probably was like walking with Lance kind of towards the booth, like not really knowing what to do, and then as soon as like the conversation started, he just kept walking. So
kind of out like the corner of your eye, you see a shape like walking like past you, and then to the bar, and you kind of like look over your shoulder kind of instinctively, and you see Gimli sitting there, and you see his hands like have Debbie's wrists like across the bar, and he's like squeezing them and like looking at her face and kind of like pulling her forward to try to kiss her, and she like very, very reluctantly does so, and he just starts laughing.
I mean, could I have made it there before?
Sure.
She had to kiss him.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, definitely would have booked it there as fast as I could.
Yeah. Okay. So he's like pulling her in.
So as he does this, he just yells, "In!" and then he's gonna punch him in the side of the face before his lips meet.
Jesus.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your.
Actually, instead of punching him, can I just? Is there a way to do like shoves, I mean, would it just be?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, strength.
'Cause I don't necessarily want to start a fight.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
really
that's fine.
care about this girl behind the bar who tried to sell you fucking angel dust.
She did sell me angel
Oh
dust.
yeah.
Strength.
I think
Strength
it's more
brawl.
I think it's more the rapiness of it all.
Strength brawl.
He's gonna slap fight him.
She's exotic.
I will use my second will. I mean, if she would have looked like she liked it, I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy it, like that's just rapey.
Jacob just got the horny teenager syndrome going.
And I have made it expressively clear he is a virgin.
Yeah.
He's
Not
white
for
knighting
long
the
if you
shit.
pull this off.
He's white knighting the shit out of this. You said
Ready for 4 successes and he accidentally kills Gimli.
With hair like that, he's obviously a virgin.
That's my new hairdo.
You're just gonna use this token from now on. It's not gonna be the other
Oh
one.
yeah, bro.
I mean,
I hope so.
I've been intentionally covering it up with my character sheet, so I don't have to see that.
Ah!
So he reaches in to kiss her, and you kind of take him off guard and push him, and he kind of stumbles and kind of bounces off the bar, and he's like, "Oh fuck, boy," and he kind of fiddles with his belt, and you see basically he grabs something kind of off the belt and slips it over his hand, and it's a pair of brass knuckles.
Yeah,
And
I
as he
figured.
does, a key ring just kind of jiggles, and he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna be so pretty.
Yeah, so Jacob is definitely moving backwards, dodging if that's a thing in this, and also he yelled Ian really loud.
Yeah, there's a lot of music,
I know.
loud music. What Lance can see this. So what is
Yeah,
Lance?
Lance immediately jumps up from the booth. He looks at Ingrid. He said, "I'm not done with you." And he heads over to where Jacob is, and again puts his hands up, puts himself to say, "Oh no, come
All
on,
right, hold on.
No one wants to throw a punch here, guys. Come on, let's calm down. Let's let cooler heads prevail. Listen, Gimli, I can see you're a smart man. You know, you just have that look about you.
What's your
I'm
defense?
spending.
What's your defense?
My
When Lance stepped in, can I run to where Ian went?
Mm-hmm.
Have fun, Lance.
Okay.
Oh.
So basically, as you kind of get in the way, he might not even been aiming for you. It's hard to say. So he punches and hits you square in the jaw with his brass knuckles, and you stagger back badly, seeing stars, and you'll take 2 bashing damage.
I don't even have my gun on me.
Oh,
Lance does, though.
oh shit.
All right, so we're switching scenes now. So we're switching scenes to Jacob burst in through the outer door, and he's rushing in, and you see Ian kind of rubbing his shoulder and Barb watching.
Fuck.
And Jacob, in a pant, just says, "Biker bitch using brass knuckles. Lance might die."
Oh, for fuck's sake. What the fuck? And, Barb fucking figured out. I'll be back.
And
Going out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Easy.
Jacob does run. Oh, sorry, Barbara, go ahead.
Barbara just kind of like, we need keys. This door, we're not going to be able to knock it down.
Well, I guess you better come with me then, because, I mean, if you don't got keys and you can't pick a fucking lock and you're not doing much back here, I guess. And I'm just... Alright, move, Jacob. I'll clean up your mess for you.
He heads out. And I guess he does say, "I thought he was going to wait for us to leave."
Oh, well, I'm thinking maybe you had something to do with him not. And when I run out, I guess I see Lance fucking staggering.
Yeah, he's staggered there. So what is everybody gonna do? And Gimli's like just kind of laughing.
I'm going in on it. I'm going in.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Time to fuck
Defense
this up.
2. Defense 2, so you're gonna take 2 negative modifier to your roll.
So I'm doing brawl in my... Okay.
Mhm.
And don't you have like a merit of boxing or something?
Yeah.
I've got quite a bit. I just need to review that. Boxing.
You can attack twice for a -1 penalty. You can do haymaker 2. What does that do? No, you can knock him unconscious potentially.
Yeah, I think I'll try that.
Okay. So single attack equals a size. You have to hit him for 5 damage.
Am I even able to hit him that fucking hard?
Well, I mean, sure, you can explode enough to do it. I think that's the size of humans is 5, yeah.
Let's see, I'm rolling 3 to strength and brawl?
Yep.
Okay. I have a weapon damage of... Oh, so that's just your strength and brawl put together, right?
Yep.
Okay. Defense armor 2. What?
Holy
Fucking shit!
No fucking way.
Oh wow. So
Oh
I
my
mean-
lord.
Wait, no, I'm gonna fuck that up. Hold on. 3 plus 3 plus 6 minus 2? Something's off there.
3 plus 3 plus.
It's plus 6 because of the explodes.
No,
Is it?
No,
No
I
way.
don't think so.
It doesn't.
It doesn't usually add it there. Just do
okay.
exactly what you did before and see what happens.
Well, can we at least take the first 3 times?
So it's saying weapon damage. I'm putting in 6, right? That's correct.
Weapon damage is not. No, your weapon damage isn't 6. No,
What is it then?
it's like nothing. You don't have. What it was it say? It could be 1, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, your weapon
okay,
damage. Yeah, that's like hitting with a bazooka.
Defense armor 2. That seems more in line.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would have rolled. I would love to take that first couple on the
Of course.
fucking-
So you come in and you just basically just cold cock him, and he like staggers back, and his nose is just gushing out both nostrils, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he's like, "The wolves are gonna have your ass, man!" And he swings back at you. What's your defense?
Don't those tins explode?
They
It
did.
did.
They did. Look at how many dice he rolled versus how much.
Should have rolled.
Defense of 3, apparently.
Okay, so that would be. So he hits you, but you kind of like it hits off your elbow as you kind of try to parry it, but it stings. It hurts because he's got brass knuckles on. So you take 1 bashing damage.
And that's the slash.
Yeah, it is the slash, correct. And like people are like getting the fuck away right now.
Jacob's cheering on Ian.
You should have went down, motherfucker. I'm just gonna swing on him again.
Well, I'm curious if I should try and start a bar fight or not. Incite one, rather.
So you club him back, kind of like throw out a jab or something.
While they're fighting, and I'm like rubbing my face, and I go to Barb. Barb, where was this room? Take me to this room.
Do you know how to get into a locked door?
I do.
Alright, follow me.
Okay. So you head back to the room as he's attacking back and spending a willpower to do so. So he comes around with his left hand without the brass knuckle, and he like swings, and it looks like he misses, but actually catches you with the tip of his elbow. And this guy hits pretty fucking hard.
That's his willpower.
Yeah. That's his only willpower, though.
Well, I shall return the favor in kind. I know I said I wasn't going to use it anymore tonight, but...
Called shot.
Oh, I was going to willpower it. Which is probably a bad idea. Actually, you know what? Fuck using the willpower. I will do that double attack.
Okay, so you take -1 to your attack on each one.
So I'll just add an additional to his defense then.
That's fine.
So, let's see. There's one.
So you hit him again, and he kind of like staggers back, and then the scene switches as he like grabs a stool and turns to face you. But now the scene goes to Barb and Lance rushing into the other room.
All right, where's this door? Where's this door, Barb?
She points out the door. You can see the dent that Ian left in it.
Okay, so Lance looks around. Let me just confirm. Lance does have lockpicking kit.
Okay.
That was part of his original.
Yep, good.
Yeah. Okay. And he's gonna try the handle first. Try and open it.
No, it's locked.
And it's locked. He's like, all right, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. And then he's going to attempt to try and unlock it with his lockpicking kit.
Oh, God, how do you do that? Let's see.
I think it says under the kit what the stats are to use it.
Dexterity and larceny bonus. So you get, well, it doesn't say what the bonus is, but we'll give you a +2.
So... apparently I can use he's been using brawling based attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been neglecting duck and weave, which allows me to use my dex or wits to determine defense instead of my regular defense.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So I'll have 4 defense.
Okay.
I'll probably have 1 less for this next one because I comboed.
So in the other room, Lance is kind of jimmying with it, and here's a click click
click, bitches.
And I'm going to enter quickly. And I'm going to use investigation, if that's okay.
I'm following in right behind her.
Hold on. So
behind us.
So you go in and close the door, and nobody's in there. And although it's strange, this is what you guys see. Hold on. I'll do this just to certain people. Yeah.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can move characters over to a page so that only they can see it.
Nah, you can't do that. Yeah, I have to move players. Hold tab. Hold on. That's not what I want to show you. So please look in your handouts. So back in the main room, Gimli and Ian are like going at it. And so Ingrid like comes over and she like yells, "Gimli, knock it off!" And he's like got his hand like clenched, but he like steps back and she's like, "Enough!" And he like steps back kind of frantically, and he's like, okay. And like looks like very like scared for some reason, and he kind of like walks back towards the front, giving an eye towards Ian as he does so.
I'm gonna wink at him.
And you both are kind of a bloody mess.
I'm not seeing any handout.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Trying to find out where
It would just. Can you describe where it is? Is it the top for him, or is it populating?
It should be on the bottom of right above PCs.
Yep.
Yeah,
it says there's a
It's a
painting.
painting.
Look at painting.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And so, what is Ian and Jacob doing out here? Debbie says to Jacob, she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that," and she just like kind of looks forlorn, and she's like, "Thank you," and puts a hand kind of on your wrist, and not even sexually, just kind of like kind of sad resignation, almost.
Right, and he says, "That guy's a creep. I kind of feel bad. You even have to deal with him every day."
He is definitely a creep. I don't know how he got that job. Well, I guess I do. He's a part of the Wolves motorcycle gang.
Yeah, he keeps talking about them.
They're gonna be fucking pissed. I'm glad you guys don't live in Denver.
Pissed because one of their members can't fight, and he kind of smirked, trying to make light of the situation.
Yeah. She just kind of smiles, and like people go back to dancing after the fight and kind of forget that it even happened, because it seems like it might be kind of a common occurrence. All right, switching scenes.
He would talk to Victoria, though, like when you come back to us.
Yeah, Victoria's
It's
not out.
standing there. Or not Victoria, Ingrid.
So,
The fuck?
you walk into this room, and you see all these strange, like, vines. It's obviously very strange, right? The vines are, like, in the room, going through it, and the strangest thing... Actually, I'll just read this, 'cause it's better. Obviously strange, there's vines come through the windows, and it obscures outside. Oddly, there's a large rectangular mirror on the chair. When you look at it, you initially don't see yourselves. You see this image. Oh, hold on. So go ahead and roleplay to what you see right now. Don't worry about what's in the mirror for now.
Barb
What?
just kind of.
In the world is going on here?
Yeah, Barb looks at Lance and she's like, this oddly enough reminds me of Miranda's room. And she points to the mirror, and that reminds me of Miranda's mirror.
I knew that lady was weird.
Yeah, but she's weird on our side, so let's be quick about this.
What are we looking for? What are we supposed to do?
Anything that she said that we know, and out of character. I don't know if crime scene investigation would technically apply to this, but I'll ask anyways.
You could. But when you look in the mirror, you kind of see this through the mirror.
Holy
A scene
shit.
of rain and this village and a small stream and this castle in the distance, basically.
This was my dream. This is where I went. Barb, this is where I went when you guys disappeared in the cave.
Yeah, well, this really doesn't surprise me from what I remember Miranda telling me.
This
When
doesn't
there's-
surprise you. Really. That's amazing to me.
Doesn't- And she just like looks at him, give him that typical woman stare. If you let me finish. From what I remember Miranda telling me about her mirror, if this functions anything like that one, it can show you all kinds of weird shit. But we don't have time to be playing sightseer. We got to find whatever it is.
Well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we're supposed to take out of here.
Yeah, and maybe there's any number of things in here. I don't know about you, but that's a big damn mirror. So I want to roll investigation with my crime scene investigation, if applicable,
Yeah, go ahead.
and that would be intelligence.
Yes.
1 second, I gotta put my token on here so I can roll that macro.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, but I can't click on it.
God, I don't understand why your token always thinks it's Ian. I don't really understand that. Something happened when we got Bill wrong. Okay, you should go do it.
And how many modifiers would that crime scene investigation give me? Just 1 or 2 or?
Just 1, because it's not exactly applicable. That's a specialty anyway, right? So it's just 1 anyway.
Yeah.
You're looking around, and one thing comes to your attention. There's a basket of fruit that the fruit's pretty strange. It almost looks like a grapefruit, but it's got a green skin. And there's one of them has a couple bites out of it.
And she's like, well, she collects the basket of apples because that's, the easiest thing that she can carry around.
Mm-hmm.
And is that safe actually there, or is that safe?
Yeah, there's a safe there. Mm-hmm.
Lance, do you think you know how to crack that safe?
Yeah. I don't know. That looks
lock picks wouldn't work on a safe.
Yeah,
but...
say that looks like a keypad or something. My lock picks aren't going to do anything.
Can I do a specific investigation to looking for a password or code for that thing?
Just start looking through the desk.
Yeah, you can look through the desk. You don't have to roll. You search all the notes and everything, and you don't find anything that looks like a password that you would be able to tell.
I'm just rummaging through everything. I'm rummaging through the desk. I'm rummaging through the bookshelf over there. Yeah, the books. The books are like encyclopedias and stuff like that. Nothing special. And then I don't know what that lady wants us to find, or what.
And then that clock, it's 1 o'clock and it chimes, the 1 o'clock, and as it does, the scene in the mirror changes, and then as it does, you kind of look at the mirror, and the scene switches back to the club. So, Ingrid walks over to Ian and Jacob, and she says, "You and your friends are causing me a lot of grief tonight."
He says, yeah, it's kind of an accident. I lost my temper a little when your bouncer over there was grabbing your bartender here by the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about him. I apologize.
If you want to bring him back in, I can take care of that for you.
It's like, no. She's like, "You're kind of busted up here. Why don't we go back to my room and I'll touch you up a little bit."
No, that's fine.
And she's like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, I got some medical stuff out in the car. I'll take care of it myself.
She's gonna try to persuade you to do so. You're not exactly sure why you're listening to her, but hold on.
Must be the hat. You're gonna show me some magic tricks.
Well, maybe. I can find the damn right.
I mean, Ian's apparently all about going into back rooms with strange women, so I'm sure this would be right up his alley anyway.
Yeah, but she's not really seducing you so much.
She's the daughter of Slash, so she's got the ability to make you do what she wants.
She thinks she's the daughter of Slash. It's actually the daughter of Axl Rose, fucking Slash's girlfriend. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea.
I'm sure that I'll find a memoirs of Guns N' Roses somewhere and let you know.
That's honestly.
Oh my
every time
god!
Holy shit!
And she rolls 9 again on this.
Why are you cheating? Oh my god!
All right, so 6 successes. You can roll resolve and composure.
Can I even match that? Let's take a look. Resolve and composure.
Bitch, I'm crazy.
If I explode, I can. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll just punch myself in the face and knock myself out. The fuck is composure? I'm going through here.
It's your in your attributes.
No, I saw it. It's just not showing up in the inputs. Offhand. Let me just go back and because it wasn't the first set. Just
Yeah, I could have missed it.
oh, you're good. Composure resolve.
For me, it's
No.
under manipulation.
I rolled a punch myself in the face. No, I'll just,
So you feel strange and you're like, okay, and so just kind of like maybe role play how that kind of like affected you. Something strange, like you agreed to it.
maybe just do it without even recognizing it. And like in my mind, I'm saying no, but my mouth says yes. And it's like I'm confused.
And what is Jacob doing as she's leading Ian?
Sounds like my
back to
prom date.
that?
He actually says, why was that guy so scared of you anyway?
She's like, well, I'm his boss.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, but he looked really scared, and by the looks of him, he doesn't care much about a job.
Yes, well, and she just doesn't really answer. She's like, come on. And she waves to Jacob, and she's like,
I'm looking confused at Jacob because I don't know why I said yes.
When Jacob, I guess he knows what they're supposed to be doing though, and he says,
Shit.
didn't he say he's got stuff in his car? Why don't we just do it out there instead?
oh, it's cold out there, and my room is right over here.
He says, all right, well, can I at least talk with your bartender for a minute before we go?
Sure. And she kind of like keeps walking, and Ian keeps following her.
Ah,
Her.
shit.
Hit her!
Hit her.
Probably can't compel myself to do so. She did some fucking backwoods magic on me. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. This is above my pay grade.
He's gonna say, Ian, where are you going? You're leaving.
I'm just gonna look at him like mouth. I don't know. Why?
I guess he will follow then. The whole time, like annoying her, trying to slow them down. If I can get them to redirect in any way, he's looking for it.
Yeah, she's not paying attention. She's just walking, and you follow her, you don't. Ian does follow.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay.
Can I stealthily follow though, like in the crowd?
Sure. But well, I mean, once you get to the door, it's.
I guess
you gotta
that's
go
true.
through.
Yeah, never mind then.
So, yeah. So you walk in, and so she heads back through the little common area room to the main room, her room in the back, and she walks in, and you see your friends. Well, actually, she walks in, and the door is open, and she's like, ah. And she's like, yes, I should have expected as much. And she kind of just walks into the room. And as you guys are kind of rummaging around inside, that mirror changes. And as it does, in walks in basically Jacob, Ian, and Miranda.
Did you say Miranda?
I'm sorry. No. Sorry. Ingrid.
What?
Ingrid. Sorry.
I'd not be mad if it was Miranda.
No.
Damn, I wish we could have gotten a chance to at least escape.
No, you guys are too slow.
Well, oh well.
So they all come walking in together?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, there's two of me.
Oh, shit.
Who am I?
So what do you guys do?
I pull my gun out and point it at Ingrid.
Fuck.
Okay.
Don't shoot me.
I'm holding it up.
And
I'm holding it sideways so I get a +1 on it.
Oh shit.
She's like, oh, you're pulling a gun on me.
Immediately, Jacob puts his hands up and takes a step back, like, still even with Ingrid, though. Like, I'm on this side of the line, not that side. This is basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Listen, Ingrid. We're just going to leave. We're going to leave.
You're going to leave.
What's her name, the other lady?
Victoria.
Victoria already knows that you're up to something. Whatever you're planning, it's not going to work because she knows.
And she's like, and I know. She's like, before you leave, Lance, perhaps you should look in the mirror.
don't look in the mirror, Lance, whatever you do.
I've pulled my arm away at this point because I'm trying to regain myself here.
This mirror right here, this mirror?
That mirror.
I shoot it.
Oh shit.
You shoot the mirror, and as the bullet hits it, it kind of wobbles, and you see the bullet go through. And she's like, and just kind of laughs at you.
All right, grab the mirror. Let's go, guys.
She stands in the door, and she's like, you're not taking my mirror.
Grab the mirror, Ian. We're going to get out of here.
I don't know, man. Something fucking spooky's going on in here.
Get out of the way, Ingrid.
She's like, are you going to shoot me, Lance?
Get out of the way, Ingrid.
And she says, are you going to shoot me?
Grab the mirror, Ian. Let's go.
Is Lance like near the mirror in any way where I can see? Like, she's asking to look into it, and that's confusing to me.
You can look in it, and let's see. I would say the room is big enough where I'm going to give it a possibility. So why don't you roll like a 1d10 and like 5 through 10? Sure. You can see his reflection. Yeah, so you look at the mirror, and you see two reflections. First, you're kind of looking, and you see the reflection of Ingrid, and this is what you see. Kind of like stare back. Yep. And then you see Lance, and you see this reflection in the mirror.
It's a false Lance.
I'm just looking at the mirror, and I'm pointing at him like, what the fuck?
I pull the trigger on Ingrid.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead and roll your dexterity. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Get the mirror, Ian.
I'm definitely not fucking listening to this dude now. What the fuck? I'm pointing at this thing and everybody else to see it. Like, what is this shit?
It was a nice group, and we all died. Oh, I don't think I didn't notice that her name's really Devil.
Devil.
DeVale?
Devil.
Ingrid DeVale?
No, she's Devil.
She just a Southern belle.
lady.
A Southern belle with some pink eye.
At close range, standing right in front of her, I pulled the trigger twice.
Okay. So you shoot her, and one of the bullets hits her in the shoulder, and she kind of like flips around, and like you hear her hiss, and immediately this is like basically her visage now looks like this one, right? Than the other one, instead of like with the top hat. She still has a top hat on, but so she says, Ian, and she's like, what do you think about this freak? And she's talking about basically talking about Lance, and so she's going to spend a point of glamour.
God damn it, I told you, Ian, grab the mirror, let's get out of here.
That would have literally done nothing for us. She was gonna do this if we tried to take the mirror, or didn't. Or if she got shot.
Let's see here.
Well, maybe not. You never know.
That's right, you don't know.
Here, I didn't bring my crossbow.
Alright, that's 2 degrees of success. So basically, what happens is, Ian, you can roll basically wits composure, or resolve composure. Sorry, go ahead and roll. Oh, actually, just composure. So it's just a composure roll.
Oh, good. How awful is that? Let's see. I have 3. I'm gonna willpower this.
Okay. And you said you weren't going to use any more willpower.
I know. This seems fairly
This
important.
is probably a good time to use it.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So how do I roll just one? Do I just...
So I guess you probably have to do a negative on whatever the other one you're selecting, unfortunately.
I can just roll 60-10.
Yeah, you could do that too. That's fine. So that's 2 degrees of success, and she had 2. So basically, you, for a moment, feel like you want to smash Lance's face in, but all of a sudden, you kind of like are able to kind of like shake out of it. And
Shall not compel me.
She like curses. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna try to fucking haymaker.
Is she still blocking the exit?
Yeah, she's standing.
Oh, Christ. Let's see how this is gonna go. What can I do?
There's literally nothing I can do.
Let me tell you what her defense.
It's gonna be out of this fucking world.
It's a 3.
That's not horrible. If you say it. Oh, I cannot use defense in any attack. Ooh. Well, not that it would matter. She's probably just gonna try to compel me again. Maybe. I'll just do a regular punch. I'm not gonna do a haymaker. Oh boy. Yeah, I figured it would go that way.
Yeah, you swing, and basically she kind of moves aside quicker than you could imagine. Jacob, Barb, what are you guys gonna do?
Barb's gonna wait for an opening so she can get through the door.
That's actually that's what I'm sitting here thinking. If Jacob would run or fight,
you could try to run through. I would give you a roll.
The thing is my brawl is absolute shit, and unless I've got a gun in my hands, I'm just really a sack of meat.
Take Lance's gun.
Try to take
I
it.
don't trust that motherfucker right now anyway. Tell him he's under arrest.
Yeah.
So she's clearly like not good.
Oh,
Or
she looks like this picture in the middle. She doesn't
Right.
look good. I mean,
All right. So what would it need to be to try and power past her through the door?
I would let you do strength or dexterity and brawl or athletics. So you can combo those however you want.
Let's see. I don't even have, or don't have brawl. Don't have athletics either. Well, fuck it. YOLO. I'm going to try and do dexterity athletics.
Okay.
Trying to find it here on my list. Can I challenge her to a round of Sudoku instead?
No.
There it is. And I'm going to willpower it to try and get through her. So isn't that another +1?
+3. Yeah, so you're able to, so you run and she kind of moves and you run past her.
And I'm going to run to the Victoria's room.
Okay.
I'm still carrying that damn basket of apples.
Yeah. One falls on the floor behind you. You walk, you knock on the door, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm going to knock on the door and try and get her attention.
She opens it, and as she does that, it's Jacob's turn.
Jacob pulls out his knife and tries to stab her.
Okay. Brawl, strength or dexterity and weaponry.
I wouldn't feel bad about stabbing a non-human.
Minus 3 for her dex or her defense. So that'll you put down your negative modifiers, or just roll it manually, whatever.
So
you want
roll
to.
1.
Oh, so that's a chance roll.
Oh wait, no. Don't I add the damage as well?
Yep,
Plus
you would
damage.
add the damage. Yeah, which is probably
So
a 1 for a
2.
knife, or a 2. 1, 2.
Bowie knife 2. So
Crotch stash, no Bowie knife.
It's in his boot. So.
yeah, it's in my big giant goth boot.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Things up to my knee.
It's like up to your hip. That's how sweet the.
Damn, she didn't bite
That's how sweet they are. You're right. Either that or it's in his huge baggy chain pants. It's one of the two, or both. But anyway, after like 30 seconds of undressing, he gets out his Bowie knife and stabs. So it'll be 3 die.
Oh fuck!
Did you take her defense off of that? Didn't you?
Yeah, because it would have been 1.
Okay.
And then.
Yep, got you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you swing and she evades it, and she kind of like smiles and says, like, I do not want to play with you today. Perhaps another time. And instead of like attacking like you might think, she kind of steps aside. Ian and Jacob and kind of like runs and jumps over the table and into the mirror.
I kick the mirror.
Nah, it's not fair. And it like wobbles, and you see her like go through, and like her visage run and kind of like wave behind her. And these vines begin to wrap the mirror and squeeze it.
He's gonna try to like. Well, do they look like they're gonna break it?
Yes.
Yeah, Jacob's gonna try to cut them with his knife.
Okay, you cut one, the other one wraps. I mean, what are you guys gonna? You're not gonna be able to just cut them as quick as they're coming too fast for you to keep up, pretty much.
God damn it! I was yelling earlier. Grab the mirror.
What are you guys gonna do?
I'm not trusting you with that face. Who the fuck do you think I am?
Also,
I'm content to tell Jacob to get the fuck out of here and close the door on Lance. Just leave him here after seeing that. I don't trust this motherfucker at all.
Hey, I am the walrus.
It's horrifying.
well, I
I
mean,
mean, if we're gonna commit to trying to stop these vines, I guess I can try to throw the fucking desk into them or something if I can flip it up. I don't know if that would help or anything.
so they're like coming out of.
Yeah, they're just like kind of where they are on this. There's vines everywhere in the room, and those vines are wrapping around the mirror now, trying to looks like break it. So everybody can try something and then roll, and then I've got an idea how many successes you need to.
So Jacob's contribution, unless somebody says otherwise, is for the time being just trying to keep the vines from crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be, quote, buying time.
Yeah, you can cut as many vines as you possibly, you can just try to cut. And this will be only for 3 because Barb's not in the room currently.
What do you want me to roll?
Just roll your weaponry and dexterity or strength, whichever one you want. Probably dexterity makes sense. So dexterity, weaponry.
Okay.
Plus your weapon damage.
So 6. Let me check my will real quick. Someone uses another one.
I'm going to use will. Okay.
I put it down.
Okay.
So 9.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my.
Roll 2d10.
That's
Roll 1d10.
Jacob the Vine Slayer.
That's 5 of them. So you're like cutting them like as quick as you can. What are the other 2 gonna do?
I'm gonna try to pin this, like start. I don't know how are there. Is there like a mass of vines coming from a particular spot in the room?
They seem to be coming from everywhere. It's hard to.
Well, I would try to start a fire. I want to burn the club down. So.
I mean, you could literally just try to rip them off with strength and brawl too.
Sure. I'm meat-headed. Strength and brawl.
Technically, you're jar-headed.
Oh. Okay. What?
Bazinga.
No, that's a good roll.
I'm
So you guys both are just like taking care of these vines as quick as they come out, and you're able to grab the mirror if you so wish. But the vines are still trying to grab it, but you have time to grab it and go.
Yeah, definitely would.
While they're doing that, as soon as it becomes free, Lance grabs it and starts dragging it out of the room.
What are you guys going to do when he does that?
Run out and close the door behind me.
Okay. So as you do, Victoria's standing in the doorway, and she's like, "What's going on?" And she sees you like pulling the mirror out.
And I throw the mirror down at her feet. I said, "This was in her room. This is what she's hiding from you."
And she looks down and she looks at the mirror, and you see her reflection.
Oh,
And her reflection is actually mostly normal, except she has a couple cracks in her skin. And she like sighs and kneels down, and Jacob, Barb, and Ian notice something for the first time looking through the mirror. You yourself looks fine, but there's like a little like, it's almost like there's something wrong with the mirror because you see like another one of you like behind you.
Oh, creepy.
And like as you're kind of looking, like they're kind of looking off in a different direction, and they're all smiling, kind of like not too nicely, kind of a wicked smile.
Boy.
And
Question:
yeah.
Is it goth Jacob or is it regular?
It's regular Jacob.
Right, so it's not like a current. It's like what our
Right. You see your current with like a real reflection, and then you
Right.
see like
your essence, like who
Yes.
you are.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Cool.
and
Or-
yeah, basically your non-goth self, right?
Right.
And she looks at you and she's like, "Well, this is proof enough. Where did she go?"
She's in the mirror.
And she frowns and she's like, "That is unfortunate. Back to the
Jacob-
lovely land."
Oh, okay. Is there only one place the mirror goes? I guess Jacob would say, like, he would describe the place and say, like, is that where the mirror always leads?
Yeah, I don't know, she says. She's like, "That is the lovely land," and she kind of points through it. And it's kind of like, sometimes it reflects, like, in you, and sometimes it's just, like, what's going through, and she's like, "Yeah, the breeding grounds is what it's called. It's where they make new changelings."
And Barb's kind of like changelings. I just read that recently in a book. And she kind of gives off a very rough description of them.
Yeah, she's like, "Yes, I know. She's like, "They tried to make me a changeling once, but I was able to escape. I thought Ingrid had too, but she must be a changeling."
Just like
Well,
Lance.
she wasn't human.
She looks at Lance and she's like, "Yes, not quite. Not quite." What does
Listen,
Lance
lady.
say?
We did what you asked us to do. Now it's your turn to keep up your end of the bargain.
"What is it you want to know?" "I think I know what you want to know." "You want to know how to be normal again. Am I right?"
I just want to know what's going on. We were sent here. We were told you had answers for us about what's going on.
"Well, I can tell you most certainly that you are turning into a changeling. And
God
that,
damn it.
and then without aid, you will become one. Maybe you would not be vile like Ingrid. Perhaps you will live your days in the shadows as a Darkwing. But no, I think you are the fairest. I can tell it on you." And she kind of yeah, good.
Jacob wants to he'll describe like in like a quiet tone, Jerry, like the way he acted.
Yeah.
Probably not mention the book, but just kind of like describe him and I will say that he kept saying the read thing, but and then at the end of it be like, is that gonna happen to us?
He's like, "Yes, I can tell that you've all been made fetches." And she nods towards the mirror. "I believe the book is, well," and she like looks at the mirror, which, I guess I didn't show this to everybody yet. There's also a mirror in that room, which no one actually mentioned, but looks like this. Sorry. This is what those two saw at the beginning. You guys see it? It's a handout.
Yeah.
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 Mother of Fetch's painting. so there's a painting in that room that they had seen, and she says, "Yes, I don't know what she's been up to, but," and she kind of sighs and she says, "If they're making fetches, I don't know." And she looks at Barb, knowing the story, right, that's been told to her, and she says, These fetches will try to claim your lives, live as you, be you, impersonate you. The reason they want to read the book is something different I don't quite understand. Nor do I understand the book fully. You didn't mention the book, right? So she doesn't say that.
No, but Barb probably would have.
Barb
Yeah,
told
did
the
you?
whole story.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
She
true.
would have. She can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
no
she basically doesn't say she knows anything about books.
What about the
Barb-
rip? Oh, sorry, Barb. Go ahead.
She looks at her and she's like, "What can we do to counteract this? I don't want to become one of those things. I want to be me."
She's like, "You have to close the cave that you told me about. And the only way to close the cave is to go through the mirror.
Fuck.
And the only way to save yourself, Lance, is to go through the mirror. And head to the castle and the White Court."
Can our weapons even hurt these things?
Oh, they can be hurt, but it won't be weapons like that. It'll be the weapons of your minds, and your wits. That is the only way to succeed.
So, like the original game we played, he says.
Maybe. And you told her about the court, right? Like, I don't think they'll let you play those games exactly. You'll have to play different ones.
I guess Jacob
And
looks down at the mirror and then looks at everyone and says, "My uncle wouldn't have sent us here if it wasn't the way to go. But I don't know about entering this mirror."
Yeah, she kind of looks at you all and says, "What will you do?"
well, this isn't the first time we've seen one of these mirrors. I'd like to take it back with us, if you're not going to stop us.
She says, "I won't stop you, but I don't know. I believe this is her coven. If you take the mirror from this place, it might not work." What is Ian saying? And Lance.
I'm just fucking staring daggers at Lance while taking it all in, because I just saw that, and that motherfucker did not mention anything about being that or having, nothing.
Yeah.
He's been
Actually,
boy.
Barb was like, "Do you have a payphone around here?"
She's like, "I have a phone in my room if you need it."
And she's just like, "If you don't mind me making a call out of
No,
county,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna-"
Go ahead.
And she's gonna try and call Miranda.
Hello.
Is Miranda there?
Sorry, Barb. She's not here.
And she curses and she's like, "We found another one of those mirrors like hers. We've stumbled upon somebody. I don't know quite what she is. This Victoria woman, I mean, she's been honest with us, but I needed Miranda's advice."
Oh, yeah, she left. Went to a meeting.
She's back.
And I just kind of explained the situation thus far, and just like, you're the expert. What would you advise?
You, explain everything that's went down.
Well, maybe excluding the drugs and the dancing, but you know,
He says, "Well, I don't know. I never heard of anything like that. That's why
And-
you were in there to figure it out." He's like, "I don't want Jacob to do anything dangerous, so."
well, I don't think that he has a choice in the matter anymore. But all I can say is we can't bring them.
He's been doing dangerous things all
He does
night.
not know this. He would be disowning Jacob.
He is dangerous.
I'm so feisty.
Dangerous to everyone around him.
He's fortunate he doesn't live in an age where everybody can just take cell phone pictures.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
But
She's like, "It's up to you."
It's like, well, thanks. I guess
Thanks for nothing.
we'll try our
Thanks.
best.
Siege.
She kind of hangs up the phone a little bit harder than she intends to, and walks back. It's like, well, that didn't help me any, but I have a question.
Yes,
You're not like her.
I'm not.
Are you willing to tell me what you approximate what you are?
Oh, I'm human. I'm like Lance there, except not so far along. Once I was taken to Arcadia as well, and I almost changed, but I was able to secure my fate and claim my name and return here. Lance will need to do the same.
Jacob's a little confused, so he'll say, I did not succeed when I was in this other place, yet I'm not like him.
Yes, something else happened, I'm not sure, but when they took your name, they created your fetch. For him, I'm not sure what happened. For me, I was taken as a young girl, and I was walking in a farm and took a turn down an apple tree orchard, and, well, I ended up in Arcadia.
So all people's experiences are kind of different.
Yes, that I know. Ingrid told me one different thing, but I couldn't say if that was a lie or not. But if you go through this mirror, it will be perilous.
We need to go back and get our gear, get geared up, get everything that we need.
Barb
And then-
shakes her head. I don't think we have enough time.
We do this shit now, we don't do it.
Plus, she said we need to use our heads, not our guns.
Yes, I don't know that a gun will help you, Lance. And she, looks through the mirror and she's like, if you want to shut the cave, well, there might be other ways, but certainly, if it is a portal between Arcadia and here, then you will find how to shut it inside. Or else you might never find the cave again to shut it, and I wouldn't even know how to. I still don't know how to. But this mirror might hold what you seek.
Well,
But it will be
fuck it
dangerous
then.
for you, this is Lance. You will be walking in a place that, well, will seem very familiar to you, and one misstep, and you will become what you are trying to defeat.
Yeah, you want to keep that freak show fucking face, do you, buddy?
Well, then let's fix this. And Lance steps into the mirror.
You step through, and you kind of see him walking, or turn around and kind of look back at you through the mirror. What are
I'm
you guys gonna
telling
do?
everybody to wait for a second. So we're gonna keep eyes on him. I don't trust that motherfucker far as I can throw him now. He hid this
And-
shit from us.
Barb takes one of those swords out the wall and she's like, it can't hurt.
And Victoria doesn't say anything and allows you to take it. And she's like, well, good luck to you all. I hope to see you again, perhaps.
I'm sad I'm not gonna get that chick's number. Oh well.
And she just kind of flips her hair over her shoulder and she's like, if I die, at least I'm going to look fabulous.
Oh my god. If Jacob dies, this is how he's going to look when he dies.
I'll do him a solid.
No, I have my fingers crossed that when we go through, we'll be like. That's why I asked what the mirror representation was, because
you don't want to look that way.
I don't want to be goth when I die.
Smiling creepily when you die instead.
But
All right, so you walking through?
Yeah.
All right, so you walk through.
Something about going through the rabbit hole.
Yep. So you step through,
Come to hell, who gives a shit?
and it's very reminiscent for Lance as you walk out, and now you guys look upon Lance, and he looks exactly like this. He doesn't look like Lance anymore. He looks like somebody with a
Walrus face.
walrus face. And you stand on this bridge in this scene, and you see all these lights like flicker on in the houses, and the scene fades, and that's it.
And you guys are all still goth.